We're now every show that we did last year is the same date as this year. So we did episode 20 on this date last year, which shows you how many we missed. Which actually, I feel like we missed a lot more than 12, but I guess it only was 12 that we missed, which is good. Yeah. I feel like there was definitely a long time where we missed just without stop. But hopefully that's all behind us. So yeah, welcome everybody to Planet Film Live. I'm one of your hosts, Sean Monk.
I'm your other host, TJ Cornwall, and today we have a very special guest that we talked about last week, but not by name. We would like to welcome to the show for the first time, Paige Maroney.
Whoa! Hey, thanks for having me, guys. I'm honored.
Oh yeah.
Today, well, I mean, you'll probably see it from the title. We're gonna list off our top 10 horror movies. Some of us may have more in-depth lists than others. Specifically me not having the most in-depth because I'm not the biggest horror person in the world, but I did my best with my list. Danielle helped me a little bit.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely. Now, what have you been watching? Or let's start with the guests. Paige, what have you been watching this week?
What have I been watching?
Yeah.
God.
You can pull up your letterbox if you want.
I was gonna say, I rewatched Anastasia, the what is it, 1998 animated movie recently.
Is that Disney or no?
It's actually, I think, 20th Century Fox, so technically it is now.
Oh, okay.
I think I actually did watch it on Disney Plus.
Oh.
So is she technically a Disney princess? I was just thinking about that.
I don't know.
What do you think about like her and like Leia and all the like are they like honorary Disney princesses or are they just not part of it? Do you think it's like if Disney decrees them a Disney princess, then they are?
Sure. I mean, let's not gatekeep Disney princesses. You know what I mean? Like, my favorite Disney princess growing up was Mulan, who technically never even becomes a princess. But for some reason, she was in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So why not?
I just base it off the scene in Wreck-It Ralph too.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
which Leia was in that movie, but in the background of like the Star Wars thing, but she wasn't in the room.
She wasn't in the room. Oh my god.
She wasn't in the room with princesses. No.
Damn.
It's crazy.
I don't know. I don't know if they count. I feel like I need like somebody to be like, oh yeah, they're a Disney princess. Because I don't want to. Nobody should be gatekeeping Disney princesses. I don't know if you ever played. There was a Game Boy game that I remember my sister used to have that was like all the Disney princesses, and they each had like their own like little game thing.
Oh,
it was actually
I
really
think
fun.
I have definitely heard people talk about it. Yeah.
But like when I think Disney princesses, like I immediately just go like animated.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
To animated princess.
I think it's just because.
So, like, yeah. What about like the Enchanted movie? I would think.
See, like that, I don't because that was what was that like 20? When did that come out?
Like 2010, 11.
Yeah, like I feel like that's past my kind of when I was a kid, like it was just like Snow White and Cinderella, etc. Yeah. So, but that's just me.
But then they're just ripping off like Grimm's fairy tales too.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
True.
What the heck?
Like, would we consider it? No, I guess not. Like, Lilo would be like. Well, Lilo would be like. I feel like Lilo and Stitch is like. Well, yeah,
Wait,
I feel like
Lilo Leia crossover.
That'd be great.
What do you think about that?
That'd be great.
I can see that.
I was shopping for Halloween costumes earlier, and they had Leia and Lilo right next to each other in the kids section.
Oh, that would be cute.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But I was gonna say like Lilo and Stitch. I feel like is like one of the ones I can think of that like was a Disney movie in that same vein, but was very clearly like not about a princess. Whereas like Mulan was a Disney movie in that same vein and isn't a princess, but for some reason like she kind of is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's weird like where that distinction is.
Yeah, she's in the friend group, but she's in different friend groups. You know what I mean?
Yeah. She's a mutual.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
She's in the Venn diagram, but not in the circle.
Exactly.
For sure.
And then I guess I could tell the other couple movies I was watching. I rewatched Safety Not Guaranteed. If you guys have ever seen that.
I literally just saw
Mark
a
Duplass and
TikTok. I feel like about that, but I have not seen it.
Isn't that Colin Trevorrow's first movie, or is it the other one? It's either Colin Trevorrow or John Watts. Because I remember they were like, "Oh yeah, you should see if you think this is good. Go see Safety Not Guaranteed." That was like the first one that was like, "Oh my god."
I can confirm it was Colin Trevorrow.
Right.
Trevorrow. Okay, yeah.
Perfect. It all
and
tracks.
then Book of Henry came out, which does not track. But it does track. Oh no, I was gonna say it tracks with Fallen Kingdom, but he didn't direct Fallen Kingdom.
Oh yeah, there you go.
was J.A. Biona or whatever.
But it's a cute little indie rom-com. I guess it's probably in that mumblecore category, right? And then there's like a time travel element, but it's like, is the time travel real or not? Or are they just like, they're like journalists and they're like, are they messing with this guy or is it real? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then Aubrey Plaza like kind of falls in love with Mark Duplass.
Oh, okay.
And then I watched My Octopus Teacher.
Really? The short film from last year?
Right?
Or the documentary?
Full disclosure, I do recall when we were watching the Oscars. And there was like, I think it was a thing on Twitter, and that we were kind of talking about it. I was like, did he have like sex with the octopus or something like that?
Did he? I didn't see it. Did he?
I think my review was literally like, this guy definitely did not come on, near, or in that octopus. He is just way too into her. I don't know what
really?
it is. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a woman.
It's a she, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and it seems like he's going through like this midlife crisis where he
really throws himself into his work.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, he kind of talks about her as if like that's the love that got away or something.
Interesting.
Yeah, but yeah, that's basically what I've been watching.
Do you want to go, Sean, or you want me to go?
You can go.
Okay.
Are you caught up with the morning show?
I am. I didn't really want to get into it because I don't want to disclude Paige from the conversation. You have
totally fine. No, I have no idea.
Well, Mark Duplass.
Oh, okay.
It was a good
so far.
Chip episode. Right?
Do you have Apple TV at all?
Oh, yeah,
I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, because
I just got it because I wanted to watch, what's that show that everyone, Ted Lasso?
Lasso?
Oh, yeah.
That's why I wanted to get
Ted
it.
Lasso, great show.
Man.
Well, I did catch up on morning show. I've been trying to watch Visions, Star Wars Visions.
Oh, okay.
And it seems like only 2 of the episodes have kind of got me. The first one with the whole samurai thing, and the third one is like a brother and sister kind of dynamic.
Oh, yeah, the twins.
That was good. And then like the fourth one, I was kind of like on my phone.
What did you think about Tatooine Rhapsody?
Be honest, so Danielle was recording, so it was a Wednesday. One? No, that's the second one.
Oh, that's the second one.
And Danielle was starting to record, I think, and I was about to leave to come here. And I literally was just like zoned out. Like I didn't even go back to watch it.
Oh, okay.
Because it just, I don't know, it didn't seem any. It wasn't like, was it like a big music thing, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, it was just like, it was cool. Like it's by far the most. Well, I think I have 4 episodes of Visions left to catch up on, but I've watched spoiler reviews and like breakdowns of all of them. But like it's really the only one that ties to canon. Like it's not in canon, obviously, like all of them aren't, but like Boba Fett's in it, Jabba the Hutt's in it, like the pod racing arena's in it, like all the stuff from like Tatooine is in it, characters and stuff like that. It's just the whole story isn't real. Gotcha. And it kind of is in an undefined time period. Like you kind of get the impression that the main guy is a Order 66 survivor, but like it's not really confirmed. He's just like kind of a Jedi hiding like on the run type of thing. Yeah. But yeah. But it was okay.
So I'm trying to catch up on that. I finished Squid Game since the last time I've been here, I believe. Have you watched Squid Game at all?
I have not, but I can sort of segue into something that I think like predates Squid Game and like Battle Royale and Hunger Games and stuff like that I just read because I just read a Stephen King book called The Long Walk, and he like talk about a pioneer, like he was doing this like death game idea like before all those guys, you know what I mean? But yeah, but I do want to watch it.
What was that other one? The Bellco Experiment, right? That was like the James Gunn produced one by James Gunn, right? He didn't direct that.
No, I don't think he did.
No. It was good. It was really, I think
it had like Michael Rooker and stuff, I think.
I'm talking about Squid Game.
Oh, duh.
Yeah,
right. Oh, yeah. What did you think? Oh my god. Yeah.
It was good. I think it's just like the hype is like all the way up here. It's just like there was no way it was ever gonna, like, I didn't know really. It did shock me. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh shit, I guess that does make sense because you never see like that one thing. But
that was the thing that I was saying, that whereas I didn't figure out the front man, that was the thing that I figured out like halfway through the
don't go back and watch listen to last week's episode because I literally said, oh, I'm predicting this, and you had no reaction whatsoever, which is a good job.
You didn't think I could do it.
You didn't. And as soon as I was like, but like something like that, I think what you're talking about was like, that's the one thing that's kind of not really, I thought that was the weakest part. Where it's like, what is the motivation? How? Why? When? It's just like, you're just kind of left with that, and then it's kind of like.
I will say, like, in terms of like like going back, it makes sense, but in terms of motivation, absolutely. I think it's very. I would say the director and writer would probably say it's like purposefully ambiguous, but like I'd want to know a little bit. Just a little bit of why. Yeah. Like I would want the conversation right at the end.
Right.
Like by the bed or in the window and stuff. Like I would have wanted that to go on a little bit longer, get a little more information before what happens. But like I don't know, maybe that's a season 2 thing, or maybe that's I mean, because Netflix has talked about
season 2 at all yet or not?
It's not like confirmed or anything, but like Netflix is like and the creator's like, I have like 7 different season 2s in my head. He's like, nothing's nailed down basically.
That's awesome. I don't know if you saw, they released Tiger King 2.
It's coming out like mid-November, right?
Yeah. He sent me.
I was gonna say. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say he sent me the trailer and it just said like stop, like in full in all caps.
So are they still just following them, or are they finding a different crazy?
No,
okay, it would be cool if they did like an anthology series where they found other stuff like that,
or like other animals.
Yeah,
Shark
that's
King.
true. Exactly.
There were definitely people.
Dr. Evil on there, just talking about lasers.
Is it that hard?
There were people in the show that I did not recognize, but I've said before, like I think the first one was just such like it came out at the exact right time, like really early pandemic. You're stuck in your house. Yeah, that's exactly.
I mean, that's why remember we talked about we talked about the news like 6 months ago, and then like 4 months ago of the Nick Cage was gonna play Joe Exotic in the thing, and then they scrapped it, and he was like, and Nick Cage, we talked about like he gave this like perfect answer where he was like what you said, that show came out at the perfect time, was everywhere, and it was great. And he was like, the moment's gone. He was like, we're not going to spend all this money and all this time making this movie when it's like kind of everything that's been said has been said already.
Exactly.
And it's like I think even the tagline of the trailer you sent me, like it's like, you know, you thought you knew it all, or something stupid like that. And it's like, all this is going to be...
What are people worried about? Let's put that in the tagline.
Exactly. Like, all this is going to be is the people who didn't want to talk to them the first time around.
Exactly.
And now it's like, it's so successful.
Danielle said that I'm much louder than everybody, or maybe Paige is quiet, so maybe...
I think
I can probably bring it a little closer.
I can put your thing up, because me and TJ should be the same volume because we're on the same thing.
Yeah. Right.
So I can put
and then...
change how you're using it.
Okay.
Then other than that, saw Dune. Fantastic. That's all I have to say. Go to the movies, see it. Go IMAX, biggest
and then
screen
go watch our live stream from Sunday.
That was all spoiler talk, right?
There's mostly, if you want to know our initial thoughts, first 5 minutes, I would say. We don't get into spoilers, and we give our rating at the top, so you can go check that out. But then, the rest of it, I think it was 40 minutes. The rest of it's all spoilers.
And then yesterday, 2 days ago, I watched the Lynch one. I finally got through that.
Was it as bad as everyone says it is?
I don't think it's terrible. Mm-hmm. I think it also helps if you have a understanding of. I mean, it's not the best
effects.
It's not the best. Well, obviously effects. It's just not the best adaptation. I think the first half isn't bad, and then the second half it kind of goes off the rails.
Am I correct? They try to do the whole
movie, the whole book in one movie, and it just does not work.
How long is it? 2 hours?
It's 2:15, I think, something like that.
Gotcha.
That's insane.
And Dune Part 1 is 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And then so Dune Part 1 that just came out, how much of would you say the story they did?
I personally thought, remembering correctly, because I listened to it a month or two ago, and I think they went a little bit past halfway of the book.
Okay. Yeah.
60% or something like that.
Right. But I could be wrong. Mm-hmm. But I think they definitely I've seen things where people are saying it's going to be a 3-part thing, and I don't think it is. I think it's definitely a 2-part thing, because I think they can fit the rest of the story in one movie. But I could, I don't know.
They also have 6+ books to pull from too.
Yeah, and then he said he wanted. Well, we'll probably talk about it, but he said he wanted to do the book after that one.
Do Messiah.
Yeah.
And then I watched Butterfly Effect last night. Oh, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I never seen that before.
Nice.
Oh, that'd be I just thought that'd be The Hobbit, right? Where they split the one book into 3.
A 200-page children's book.
Well, that's the thing. That's a 200-page children's book. They split it into 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
8 hours.
Wait a minute.
I swear. The extended.
I never seen The Hobbits. Wait, you're talking The Hobbit?
The Hobbit, yeah.
So those 3 movies are one book?
Yep. They're one 200-page book.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's literally, he wrote it for his children. Like,
it was. But what I was saying was, if they had split Dune into 3, like Dune needs to be 2 parts because it's like, what is it like? It's like 800 pages, right? Yeah.
So
that needs to be.
Dune Messiah is way smaller as well.
Yeah. Like that's what I was gonna say.
I
like,
noticed that too. Significantly
like part 3, if they try to do the first book in 3 parts, like that to me would just feel like The Hobbit. Like you're just trying to pad it out. Like, granted, you could probably do it if you did like this first one was 2.5, then the other ones are like an hour and a half. But I don't think Denis Villeneuve is going to do that. I think it's just going to be another 2.5, watch them both together, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, then he just said, it's not really news, but he said in an interview that like his intent is to then do Dune Messiah after part 2. So I think that'd be cool. Yeah. Just the problem is the second one. The first one kind of got a pass because of everything that happened with COVID and stuff. The second one will need to perform like an actual movie, like it. Which, granted, it might have it going for it that it now will have a bigger audience because the first one happened. Right. Like because the second one is going to naturally have more viewers than the first one because of the first one. So it has that going for it, but I would still say, as beautiful as the movie looked, I would still say that they'd have to scale back the budget a little bit. Right. Because it's like the first one is just so, like, visually dense and, like, every single shot. Like, not every single shot because there's a lot of beautiful, simplistic, like, cinematography happening, but every, like, VFX shot is just so dense with so much stuff going on. Like, I can't even imagine what and even the simple stuff. Like, there's, like, this, like, lantern like night light thing, you know what I mean, that like follows him, right? Like just that, like granted that's just like simple, like, you know, compositing or whatever, but it looks so crisp and photoreal and stuff. Like little things like that, I think, and kind of where the second half of the story would be, like more on Arrakis and stuff, I think they could probably get away with less stuff like that, like less eccentricities kind of thing.
Right, like they've proved themselves.
Yeah, so like I just think scale back a little bit, and I just think it'll have a lot better of a chance of making it back. Because I want a third, like make as many of these, but you have to scale it correctly to not just implode the franchise on itself, basically, like not to set it up for failure.
And then, so what have you been watching then?
Oh, so I've been I keep saying that like I keep wanting to watch a whole bunch of movies, and then I just end up watching TV again. But so I finished season, because I know last week I talked about I was a full season behind on the Great British Baking Show, which I was like, how did that happen? So I finished season 8. I'm now caught up with season 9. Caught up with Morning Show. What else did I watch this week? I had watched season 1 when it came out of Lock and Key on Netflix, but I hadn't watched season 2 yet, so I started season 2 today. I watched a couple episodes of that. And let me see.
I'm interested in Midnight Mass. I would like to start.
Yeah, me too. I'm hearing it's very King-esque, like Stephen King-esque.
Yeah, I just want to see that because we talked about that a little bit last week. What's his name? Ronald Cooley. Yeah. He's one of our shows, like Spirit Animal.
Oh, okay.
If you can say Spirit Animal anymore, I apologize. Little morning show reference there. But I do apologize if anybody took offense to that. But it was a reference to the morning show.
Okay.
By the way, Apple TV. Obviously, Ted Lasso was good. I'd probably say the second best show is the morning show.
Yeah.
I would suggest you watch it, and if you're not like into like the vibe, maybe just like let it go, because like.
Or just watch one really good season of television.
And then just leave it.
Leave it. Because, like, that's a lie. Season 1 is, like, a great season of television. Season 2 is, like, a good it's like a good, but it's kind of losing its way.
Kind of got like the Stranger Things kind of thing. Where season 2 was not as good. It's like a
sophomore slump. Right? Yeah. Like that kind of thing. But not just like we said last week, not to say that it's bad. It's just I feel like it's kind of meandering through this whole COVID storyline that they keep trying to get to, but like we're on episode 6,
right?
So like maybe get to it. Like
in this episode, we didn't even get that character that we were talking about last week at all.
At all, yeah. What? They were filming the reunion at that time. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe she needed a month off. But I have been watching, not to give anything away, but and this actually isn't giving anything away because some of these were not on my list. So I watched Halloween Town, Halloween Town 2, Calabar's Revenge, Halloween Town High, Return to Halloween Town, saw 1, 2, 3.
Oh, why?
1, 2, 3.
Corpse Ride, and then Social Network. I guess I actually did end up watching a lot this week.
Wow, all horror movies.
I forgot. Well, no. Social Network. Oh, I did. I will say. I rewatched Social Network. And I was like, damn, that's a good movie. But holy shit, all these people are such assholes. Like, and it really pisses me off. About the new, there was like news that
Mark Zuckerberg, that they were like, I know
about the sequel, you know what I mean? Like, and they were like,
oh, wait, sequel? What?
Yeah, like Aaron Sorkin and David Fincher were like, oh yeah, one of the projects that we have on our slate is a sequel to The Social Network that's going to be about Mark Zuckerberg now dealing with all the shit going on, but he's also trying to get home for Christmas.
Oh my god!
Like no, like literally, like they said that, and I was like, and it was like gonna be about like his struggle, like him dealing with an issue, while also like stuck at an airport, like in a tense situation, like and it would be Jesse Eisenberg again, like that whole thing, like the whole team coming back.
Yeah.
But I was like, how about you make it about his like war crimes and like this, like that, like like the first one was about, you know? And granted,
are they trying to make it like a Planes, Trains, Automobile? Like, oh, this guy's an asshole. Let's melt his heart.
I really hope not. Like, because my thing is like but granted, I guess the first one, and I kind of forgot about that. Like the first one does delve into like this guy's an asshole,
definitely,
but it's also like really like, but like, boy, he's just having,
worth it, you know?
Yeah, like it was worth it, or like, but boy, man, is he having trouble getting a girlfriend? Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, why is that in there? Like, just, and granted, back then it was like, and then the movie ends with like, Facebook is currently valued at $26 billion. And
better lawyer up, asshole.
Yeah, and Mark Zuckerberg's like, and they're like, and Mark Zuckerberg is the youngest person to ever make $1 billion. And it's like, flash forward, you know, what did that movie come out 9 years ago? Flash forward 9 years later, and the man himself is worth $140 billion.
Right.
And the movie ends with, Facebook is currently valued at $25 billion. It's like, that's the company. Like, the company now is way higher than that, but the freaking guy is worth that much. Like
he's
put him to the fucking fire. Like, don't just be like, oh, this guy's trying to, you know, he's just trying to get back to the kids. Like, no, make it be about like every like the courtroom stuff, like all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I also watched I watched I watched like 4 episodes of Black Mirror, like rewatch. So I watched White Christmas.
It's one of the only ones I've seen.
Yeah, White Christmas, Hang the DJ, 15 Million Merits, and then oh man, I always forget the name of it. But the black and white one about like basically like the Boston Dynamics robots like that try to kill everybody.
Oh jeez, I don't know what that is, but okay.
It's like, you know, like the Boston Dynamics robots, like the really. Like the dog robot that like everybody posts videos of. Basically, Black Mirror, like Charlie Brooker did an episode that was like the worst thing that could happen with where it's like they kind of go on the fritz and they just start like trying to kill everybody. Like it's like a delivery drone, but then it just like goes crazy.
That seems like a Love, Death, and Robots episode or something.
Yeah. And it really fits that vibe because it almost doesn't fit a Black Mirror vibe because it's like it's weirdly all black and white with a little bit of color. But like it's also really short too. It's like I think it's like 38 minutes. Black Mirror is normally like an hour and 10, an hour like around there.
Right.
But yeah, but I mean it's still good. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I've been watching.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you have any news you want to talk about other than we kind of talked a little bit about Dune officially getting part 2, but. That was news this week. Oh, you know what? Actually,
okay.
Also, quick shout out. Make sure you are following us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at @theofficialpfn. We're posting there pretty much daily, whether it's just, you know, some of the things that we've watched that week, trying to get information from you guys on, you know, your thoughts on certain franchises or movies, or just posting, you know, different content there, or news as well on the Twitter and on Instagram. On the Twitter. On our
Drops
Twitter. Yeah. But yeah, make sure you're following us there because another thing I just remembered that we did post on there, Hayden Christensen.
Oh, yeah.
Coming back to be in Ahsoka,
right?
Apparently as Anakin.
Whoops.
So how do you think that's gonna happen?
Why do you say it like apparently? Oh, you mean okay.
Well, because in Kenobi they said he's gonna be playing
Darth Vader.
Darth Vader, yeah.
Right.
So like this is apparently as Anakin Skywalker. But it's set 5 years after Anakin Skywalker died. So
interesting. I think it'll be like flashbacks. Like, do you think he's gonna have a major part in this show? Because I'm unsure. Because he's done with acting, right? Like he doesn't act now.
I don't think anymore. I don't think you could say that anymore though, because I mean he's in every episode of Kenobi, and now this. Like, so maybe it's like a Tobey Maguire where it's like
but I feel like
kind of getting back out there.
Like the check's big enough. It's like
exactly.
Tobey Maguire wasn't out of movies though. He was producing like a lot.
Well, that's true. Yeah, but I mean like in front of the camera, like that kind of thing. Because like it's not like Tobey Maguire was producing like with his production company, but like he wasn't like he wasn't like on set every day, like that kind of stuff. Like, but yeah, like I don't know. I think, and I mean he was in.
Okay, I'm sorry. He was. I take that back. He was not like out of, like the last thing he was in other than Star Wars, the voice.
Rise of Skywalker
was The Last Man with him and Harvey Keitel.
When was that?
In 2019.
Oh, that's not that bad.
So
just
not that
lower budget stuff. Yeah, whatever.
Although it seems like he did a movie a year up into 2016 where he had nothing on his IMDb.
Oh, okay.
But
gotcha. But yeah, I think how much do I think he's gonna be in there? I would say maybe I think it's gonna be one of two things. I guess it's kind of not answering the question, but I think it's gonna be one of two things. Either like in like 2 or 3 episodes, or like constantly there as a voice or as like a Force ghost or something. Or maybe that's what the show. Maybe the show is about the two of them. Maybe it's like what I would love is if the show, like, I don't think it's gonna focus on the two of them really, but like if it did, like I would love to have kind of the Ahsoka show be a vehicle to get more information on how like Force ghosts work and what they really can do and shit like that. Like,
do you watch have you watched Mandalorian at all? Like any live action stuff?
Okay. None of it. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
I still have to watch some of the prequels.
Oh, okay.
This is awkward.
Do any of these shows because they've announced like, I don't even know if like any of the stuff is in production yet. Like they've announced this one Acolyte. Yeah. It's like kind of the dark. It's like looking at like the dark side, right? Kind of like a dark side based show.
Focus on a female Sith.
Yeah, which
that years
for me that interests me because my complaint about Star Wars is all the time, like especially like I've seen it the most in the games, where it's like, can we just stay like bad for a longer like. My biggest gripe with Battlefront 2 was that the main character was like bad for like
the
first quarter of the
missions,
game, and then she's good.
Oh,
and I'm like, can we just stay on the on the wrong side?
Gray Jedi, right? Is that a thing? What are they called? There's like middle of the road
depending
Jedi?
On who you ask.
Oh, okay.
Some people say that that's absolutely not a thing, but yeah, I mean, there's
I've never even heard of that. Is that
like,
a thing?
Well, yeah, people are like, well, Luke became a Grey Jedi, and then they were like, well, George Lucas doesn't believe in Grey Jedis. That's not a real term. And it's like, okay, like somebody like Qui-Gon Jinn, he's a Jedi. He just doesn't jive with everything that like the Council does.
Right.
You could call that a Grey Jedi. I mean, it's what their actions are. It's not a name. Like, it's just like
this does sound like a question. Like you're in like a panel and like Ewan McGregor's up there and he's like and he steps to the mic. So do you think Obi-Wan Kenobi was ever a Grey Jedi? And then he goes on this whole thing and goes, I don't know.
Or the Harrison Ford.
Yeah, I was gonna say Harrison Ford's like that. I don't
care.
Give a shit. Yeah. I don't know
my god. Oh, quick talk. All right, where are we at right now with yes or no? Quick 1 episode cameo or not? Are we getting Liam Neeson and Obi-Wan?
Yes. There you go.
I think yes as well. Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
The prequels are really like the main thing about the prequels right now is just that like it's all coming back around. Like it's just like everybody at Lucasfilm and like the fan base and everybody, and it's partly because of I think it's much less partly because of the hatred that some people have for some of the sequels. It's more so just the people that were growing up with the prequels are adults now.
Yeah.
Like, that's the main thing. It's not about... And everybody's like, yeah, everybody loves the prequels now because the sequels suck so much. And it's like, no, it's just... They're the people that love those movies are the audience now. Yeah. Sorry. Like, but I think that's awesome. Like, I think that it's so cool that there's... So, The Mandalorian and all these new shows that they're doing, like Book of Boba Fett and Ahsoka and a couple of the other ones, they take place like 5 years after Return of the Jedi. But it's so cool that like all those shows are now bringing in tons of characters from the prequels and from the Clone Wars animated show and stuff, like into live action, into a post original trilogy. Like, it's just cool like that it's bridging everything. And I hope one day, you know, it might take 20 years. It probably will take 20 years just like this, but like, you know, one day if you bring somebody like Finn or like Janna or you know, a smaller character or even a bigger character, like, and just kind of bridge the gap that way. Like, I think that would be so cool too, but I don't know.
All right, so leaping off that, I do have another thing that I want to bring up because we're getting close to it. So the Cowboy Bebop Netflix adaptation is coming out mid-November. So I first want to ask Paige, and then I'm going to bounce it off to you as someone who's never watched the show. Are you like excited for this as like a thing, or like are you kind of like, why are we doing this? Because I earlier said to you when we weren't obviously live or anything, this strikes me as maybe one of the easier animes to adapt to a live action, other than, like I said, like a Dragon Ball or like a My Hero Academia or a, I don't know, Demon Slayer. I don't even know. I've never watched Demon Slayer, but I get
like a live action My Hero or anything.
I hope not. I hope not. Just keep it animated. But yeah, what do you think?
So, I mean, at the end of the day, I hope it's good. At the end of the day, I don't want anything to really suck for the sake of sucking. Do I think it's going to be good? I'm very meh on whether it will be.
Yeah.
So I kind of like went into this a little bit with you, but I don't really understand what these live action adaptations are for. You know what I mean? Because anybody who's an anime fan is completely content, from my understanding, just watching the anime. And then anyone who's not, I don't think is like, oh, I'm going to watch that. Especially when it looks so much like anime. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't understand, like, what the appeal
it's so
really is.
hyper stylized.
Yeah. Like,
exactly.
Like I brought up to you, like I saw on Twitter that somebody was like, this was more, what did I say? More cartoony than the anime is.
Yeah. And I told Sean, it looks like the, did you ever watch the live action Speed Racer?
No, I've never seen that.
That's
Wachowski's, right?
Yeah. Stylistically, it looks a lot like that, which, like, I think that actually is better. It holds up more than you would think.
Yeah.
But, yeah, once again, I'm just a little confused, like, why? You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Sorry. No, have you watched any of the other stuff? Because there's a Full Metal Alchemist live action movie. There's a Bleach live action movie.
I did not know that either.
Yeah, exactly.
I did watch the Death Note one.
Yeah, the Death Note one. Everyone shat on that one for good reason. And there were Japanese live action ones of those.
Yeah, I've seen those on IMDb.
They were playing a sequel to that.
That was so
bad. That was Although actually, that was Netflix too.
That was Netflix.
Is Netflix like trying to make this happen?
Yeah,
like stop making fetch happen.
Like,
stop making live
exactly.
action.
Stop making Evil Kills Tonight happen. Am I right? Like,
they've been dabbling in like the anime, like they did Castlevania. Animated show.
Yep.
And obviously The Witcher isn't animated, but they're kind of diving into that kind of video game era.
Book. Yeah. You know, non-film adaptations, like, which I think like kind of like what you said, like I think there is a audience, but I think it's a very small audience that like I watched The Witcher, but like I'm not going back and reading the books or going back. And so it's like kind of like, yes, it got me into it, but I'm not like, oh my god, this is like everything I've ever wanted, let me go watch the original one. And it's like kind of to, I think you guys were saying, or maybe you were saying before we went live, that like the stories might be different, like so it might not be an exact rehash.
Like I don't think it's gonna be like each episode is the same episode as the anime. Like I think they're gonna go maybe come up with something new. I could be wrong, I don't know. But
speaking of Netflix again, the live action Avatar. I hope I hope it's not that. I don't want an exact.
I've never seen the movie, but everybody says it's awful.
Yeah,
it's pretty bad. The only saving grace of that whole movie is Depp Patel, because he's like a good actor,
right?
And that's pretty much
carrying it on his
Who does he play?
He plays Zuko.
I was gonna.
Gotcha.
But
so not being familiar with the anime, are you interested in this at all?
I'm interested in it because I really like John Cho. Like, I think he's not really given enough opportunities. But other than that, like, the trailer looked visually, like, it was the first thing I said when we watched the trailer. Like, visually, it looks really cool. It looks, like, crisp and, like, super stylized and stuff. So it looks entertaining. It's just, I don't really know anything beyond that. Like, it's just, like, and there's just, like, some crazy shit going on. Like, like with different,
you're not really getting a sense of, like, what this world is like or anything.
No,
like that.
exactly, yeah. And I feel like, too, like, I feel like it's kind of like the trailer's job to set you up with an expectation of what this world is, what the goal is, what we're kind of doing. It just kind of felt more like, whoa. Like, like at one point he says, like, what in the actual fuck or something. He says something like that, and I was like, same. I was like, I literally don't have, and then it was like Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay.
Yeah, you were like, is the anime this jazzy? And you're like, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, like, that's, like, but, like, maybe if that's, but then, like, maybe you bring that over, like, the jazziness or whatever, but then maybe you, like, play around with some of the elements, but, like, to just make it exactly the same, it's, like, it almost feels like it's too much the same.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like, I mean, and that's, like, something, like, Disney has struggled with their live action adaptations with their movies.
Yeah, they've only found the balance.
Like with The Lion King, I know I never saw it, but I know like you and a lot of people were like, it's just like literally the same thing.
It's like Consuela from Family Guy.
And,
just no.
The anime is available though on Netflix right now.
Which
so
anime
if you didn't want to,
Cowboy Bebop,
yeah. So if you wanted to dabble in a few episodes,
anime.
Yeah, I saw that. If you wanted to dabble in a few episodes to get the feel for the show, you can always do that. The anime is available on Netflix right now.
There you go.
So if you wanted to feel for it, you could do that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know where.
It's only 20 episodes. It really is a quick.
The whole show?
Yeah, it's like 24 episodes. Yeah, that's it.
Are you kidding?
I'm not kidding. No.
I thought this was like. I'm used to like Naruto.
Yeah,
like
no,
I don't know if
quick.
the
600 episodes.
Yeah, and there's a definitive ending. It's not like.
Right.
Oh, nice.
It's a manga. First,
yeah, which is only 2 volumes.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure maybe if the manga was longer.
When was this made? Like
late 90s?
Yeah.
The show?
Yep.
It's really like.
Oh wow. Okay.
It looks good though. Still, like I think it still holds
so
up.
it's been
it's
like.
so fluid.
Oh yeah, I've seen like clips and like visuals from it too. Like it looks good. I would not have thought.
It's a great gateway anime. I feel like that's a lot of people got into that.
Did you say early 90s?
No, I think late.
Oh, late 90s, but still, I really thought it was like a. Early
like
2010. Which I saw like a clip from that and I was like, oh, that looks cool. I was like, I wanted to look up where to watch it and then I was like, oh, I don't know what's going on.
Right.
I was like, it was like some scene where he was throwing his hat down a tube or something.
Oh yeah.
But it visually again looked really really cool. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other news or anything. Well, I'll throw it to you. Our guest page. Before we get into the main topics, is there anything that you want to bring up or anything
that's pressing or anything
that's
like that?
pressing? Film. If you want to do a rants on film real quick. Whoa.
Not really. I think we were talking about like I'm very excited for a lot of the stuff that is coming out this weekend. I'm excited for Antlers.
Oh yeah, true.
What is it? Last Night in Soho.
Yep.
It's coming out. Excited for that. Still have to watch Dune. Saw Lamb. That was interesting.
Oh, you saw Lamb?
I did.
I actually have okay. So I wanted to see that. Me and Danielle just didn't really have time at some point to see it.
Is there a lamb in it?
There is so many lambs.
Is it like because obviously it's A24. A24 is a million fucking movies at this point. Would you like say it's one of the better ones or it's like
mid tier?
Is it all subtitled?
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's an Icelandic.
It's
right?
Icelandic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I thought it was funny. So. As we've said before, like I work in a movie theater, so our other movie theater,
lucky
like I don't know if you want to say I don't.
Oh yeah, I work at a movie theater. Too.
Okay, yeah, like so the movie I didn't want to like, but so the movie theater that Paige works at, like didn't you guys have an open caption of it?
No, we started doing open captions, but not. Oh yes, we
did.
I totally forgot about that.
I was talking to.
You had an open caption of the subtitle.
Yes, that's what I was talking to our boss about. I was like,
it was
it's already
but
it's
already
subtitled.
had the whole like soft mumbling, you know what I mean? Or like, it was very odd, and I was just, I felt like it was a mistake or something.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, wait, isn't the whole thing already subtitled? Like, I don't understand.
No, they went that extra mile with that.
Yeah, like, oh my god.
There must have been a mix-up with, like, we started open captions. Yeah, exactly.
So,
it was,
did you enjoy it, or was it?
So, I think I gave it 3 stars.
Okay.
So, like, I think many people have talked about this, but, like, A24, they don't always hit it, but they always swing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Always go for
exactly,
it.
Yeah.
So, they definitely went for it. But it's very much a slice of life, very meditative, a lot of cinematography,
that's kind of
vista shots, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they're just like meh about it's like you've seen the trailer, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like this lamb-human hybrid
lamb
baby.
something, yeah.
Yeah, and they just take it in and raise it as their own, and then there's this whole like, is the lamb baby evil? Like, what the hell is going on? And that's literally it. And then I don't want to give it away, but there is like one sort of like, okay, this is exactly what we were like leading up to, but it's really only a scene, and then they don't explain it, and then it ends. Like, that's basically how it is.
So, speaking of that, what were your thoughts on Green Knight? Because for me, I felt that was
very, very meditative as well.
Well, yes, but I thought that was very mid-tier as well. Now, I know a lot of people that thought...
I liked it.
Yeah, like, you liked it, and then this one kid that I work with, Peter, he's, like, obsessed with... he's, like, gonna be,
like Arthurian
yeah, like, he's gonna be, like, a literary professor. Like, he's, like, obsessed with the original story and everything. So he, like, loved it. And I know people, too, that just aren't familiar with it and just loved it, like, for its A24-ness, basically. You know what I mean?
Granted, me watching it, I was asking you some questions because I was like, I am not familiar with... I think it would help. It helps to read up on the
They should have done something about that font, by the way. Could you read that font half the time? Like...
It was hard.
Like the title cards.
I don't remember. Oh, yeah.
Whatever their font was. I get it was the old English, you know what I mean?
And also the fact that it was like, it was the font, but it was also like over very hard to read background.
It would be like bright sky and then white lettering.
Literally. It would be like white cloud and white lettering.
And then stretched all across like the screen. Yeah. And then it would blink and then that would be it.
Literally. No, but again, I'll say the same thing about Avatar. I love Depp Patel in it. Like, he was really good.
Yeah.
And Joel Edgerton, like, the performances were really strong for me. I just felt the movie really lost me and itself in the middle, and then kind of got me back. But I was just like, I was like, all right. I was like, okay, all right, that's good.
The thing is, I think I rated Green Knight higher. I think I gave it 4 stars, but I never want to watch it again. You know what I mean? And then I gave Lamb 3 stars, but me and Sean, like my boyfriend Sean, we keep talking about it. Like, we're just like, remember when that thing happened in that? What was with that? Green Knight I haven't really thought about since you brought it up now. You know what I mean? So I feel like that says something.
Yeah.
You know?
Interesting. Okay. I want to check that out. I still want to check out Card Counter, even though you told me it's definitely a skip.
Card Counter? Did you watch Card Counter?
No. I wanted to because Oscar Isaac.
Sean was telling me, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to go see Card Counter, and then I'm probably going to see this other thing when it was in theaters. And Sean was like, Card Counter, you could just skip it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
What was I going to say, though? I will say, though, Oscar Isaac is having one hell of a
really
year / decade.
That's the other thing I've been trying to catch up on is Scenes from a Marriage.
I haven't even started that, but I really want to watch it.
It is very, like...
Is that a remake? Of like
of Ingmar Bergman. Yeah, like, which I'm gonna watch after that because it's on HBO.
Is that it's also on HBO Max?
Yes, and it's basically just Jessica Chastain and Oscar Isaac just kind of like going at it, like not but just like acting like back and forth, you know, like very good.
To show how much everything crosses over. Also Oscar Isaac, also Jessica Chastain, also married. Have either of you ever seen A Most Violent Year?
No, that's on the watch list.
I watched that, like, that was, like, one of the first movies, no, not one of the first movies, but, like, that was, like, when I was really, like, being, like, I'm going to start watching, like, film. I was, like, I was, like.
It's so funny. I remember, like, that for me, too. You do yours.
Yeah, that was, like, one of the ones that was, like, because I think it was around when it came out. Like, it must have been, like, 2014. Because I was, like, going back and watching stuff.
Like, it was, like, you're hearing, like, nomination buzz or whatever.
Yeah, like, I was, like, going back and watching stuff, like, my whole life. But that was when I was, like, oh, this one's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to seek it out, aka get a VPN and watch it illegally. Like
watch it on.
But it was really, really good.
Mega Video or whatever.
Yeah,
in like
exactly.
8 parts. Mine was like the King's Speech in like 2010.
Oh yeah.
That was remember the first Oscars I watched,
so
and I was like,
I love that movie so much.
Yeah, so
that's in my top 10 movies of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is such a good movie.
Waterworks Central, you know.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
Because I have a voice. Yes, you do. Wow, what a movie.
It just ends.
What a movie. And that's it. And
Sorry,
that's
we
it.
gotta watch
It says
the
the
King's
king and Lionel Logue, they're all dead.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
just watched a movie filled with dead people. Oh, except for that little girl.
I love that
She's
feeling.
still alive and still running the country.
For now.
Oh my god.
Oh my
And that is crazy. She's like the only character in that movie that would still be alive. Yeah.
And she's 95, I think now.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Betty White's gonna be 100.
Wow.
Shout out Betty White. Hashtag Betty White.
She's got like
yeah.
I think her birthday's like January.
We know you're watching. Thanks for joining us, Betty.
Yeah. Feelings mutual.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there anything else? Knuckles will not be
Oh my
sexy
God.
apparently in Sonic
Oh
2.
yeah. I'm so upset. No, I literally like no joke. Like you know how much I love Knuckles, and like when that news broke. But when the news broke, like I was doing inventory count at my job on Monday night, and I was talking to my friend Travis. And as soon as the tweet came out, I screamed no. I was like, and he was like, and Idris Elba was just
Down
like,
on your knees.
yeah, like somebody literally asked Idris Elba like, will Knuckles be sexy? And he was just like, I'm not really going for that in this one. And it's like, why? Like, give it. Oh my god. But like you said, I don't think that's really possible.
Okay. Well,
Right,
what was the other thing you wanted to say?
Box office.
I was just gonna be like, oh, we should probably do that.
Oh my god.
And then we'll probably get into the lists and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. So, normally we do box office a lot earlier in the show. But let's see here. There we go.
Very happy for this week's box office.
Oh yeah, this week's box office was, well, there's a lot to talk about in this week's box office, but all in all, it was very, very good, especially the number one spot. But also some of the like holds were not as good as I thought they were going to be for certain things. But No Time to Die.
Oh, that fifth movie I keep seeing on like TikTok and Twitter.
Oh, I know, yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get into it. So box office for this weekend. So number one, we have Dune. First week of the box office, coming into $41 million at the box office, which is huge. I mean, we'll talk about it in a second. But then number two, we basically everything except for the number one and number 5 spot just shifted down. So number 2 is Halloween Kills, 14.4 million. Number 3, No Time to Die at 12.2 million, and then number 4 is Venom: Let There Be Carnage at 9.3, and then the one that TJ was just talking about, number 5 is Ron's Gone Wrong, the animated family movie that came out this weekend at $7.3 million. So the first thing, obviously, that jumps out is Dune. It's the highest opening for any Denis Villeneuve film, regardless of COVID. The highest opening for any of the HBO Max theatrical releases. And while if you take COVID out of it, this would be a very disappointing number with COVID factored in, and the length of the movie and everything that unfortunately was working against it. This is a very good result and absolutely played into them, greenlighting and fast tracking a sequel. Like, to be like, and also, I think we kind of talked about it earlier, but to say, yes, part 2 is happening, and to boldly be like, and it will release in theaters less than 2 years from now. Right. Like, the same month, 2 years from now. Like, we're going to shoot the movie, edit it, do everything, and it's going to be out. Like, that was just so refreshing to me, to be like I was telling my roommate, I was like, normally I'm used to, like, doesn't it take, like, 3 years to make a movie? And it's like, wait, no, that's just because of, like, COVID. Like, I was like, they can make movies in a year. Yeah. I forgot about that part. Like that's the normal
like, the next
thing.
I mean, obviously it's been made, it's already made, but, like, the next Halloween is, like, next year.
Right.
But, yeah, like, even the Marvel movies, like, they shoot those things 15 months out from the release date. And Yeah.
One thing I just want to touch on with Dune is, of course, I'm very happy it made all that money. And now, because you said this is his biggest opening.
Yes.
So I have a question for both of you. What do you think is less known by like people that are not as into movies and maybe just not into, because Dune is obviously a book originally.
What's his like most well known?
No. Film? What do you think is less like known among this like the general population? Blade Runner or like Dune as a book?
Dune.
Because see now, isn't that interesting? Because you say Dune, but it did better than Blade Runner 2049 did in no pandemic.
Well, that's the difference between a sequel of a beloved movie.
That is fair.
Like a classic, as opposed to everyone. I mean, universally, I feel like people didn't like the Dune, like Lynch
one,
and they were waiting for like it to be justice to be paid for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Wow, this movie has made a shit ton of money. Internationally, Dune, because
it's been out like
a lot of international markets got it 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So Dune right now worldwide is sitting at $223 million, which is estimated at about around between $200 and $250 million budget. So, and this is on its first domestic opening weekend. So if it keeps going, if it gets to like 400 million, I mean they're almost. It's kind of what we talked about in the review. Like, even if they don't break even on it, every dollar they make is a dollar they get back. You know what I mean? Like, even if the movie loses $40 million, that's way better than losing $400 million. You know what I mean? Like, so just looking at it on that aspect, like, even if the movie can just show that it's earning money, which again, that's kind of an aspect that like that bar kind of changed with COVID, like where it's like, no, a movie needs to make money. You need to make us a substantial amount of money to be designated a success. Now it's like, as long as you're just making money, like getting us something back into the accounts, like that's all we care about. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's why I kind of talked about earlier, where like, I think if they just scale it down and scale it back a little bit for the sequel, do like $160 million budget instead of a $200-something million budget, like I think you could really pull it off, still make it great.
Sorry, Danielle just said in chat. She said, "I disagree. I didn't even know Blade Runner. It's not a book. Sorry, I might have said that. Right? It's not a book.
No,
right?
no, I don't think you said that. Though,
it's based on. No, you didn't say that.
Okay,
no,
that's what she wrote. So I don't know if I said that.
It's like loosely based on like Philip K. Dick, like The Android's Dream of.
Okay. But I knew of Dune before, which actually kind of surprised me.
I was the opposite. I always knew about Blade Runner, like the name, but I didn't see it until I was like in my 20s. But Dune, I feel like I found out way later about. But maybe it just depends.
Halloween Kills going strong.
Yeah, I mean the benefit of this, I mean Halloween Kills worldwide is at 92 million. The benefit of that is the low budget.
Exactly.
Blumhouse. Granted, it's one of the highest budget Blumhouse movies they've ever made, but that high budget is like $30 million instead of their normal $5 million.
Blumhouse is kind of like obviously A24 does horror as well, but Blumhouse is also in that same vein where it's like, we're gonna put $2 million in this thing, it's gonna make 50, you know, and it's just like, we're gonna swing.
Well,
sometimes we're gonna miss.
Yeah, just throw this random guy who's like, I have this weird idea.
Right.
Absolutely, yeah. And then I gotta say too, Venom is making a good amount of money. Like Venom is, I think it's in the top 5. It's in the top 5 for the highest grossing films since the start of the pandemic, and definitely top 5 for 2021. That list is basically the same list, but with some variations in the top 10. But yeah, $354 million. I mean, that is absolutely that movie made money.
What is No Time to Die at? Do I want to know?
Yeah, that's what we're going at next. Okay. No, yeah, you want to know. It's making a freaking killing. Like we talked about.
It barely dropped, right?
Like we talked about last week. It only had a where are we at? Yeah, less than 50% drop, which, as we've talked about on this show before, a like 55 to 65% drop is like expected. So to be in its its third week, right? Yeah, to be in its third week and only drop that's what I wanted to talk about with No Time to Die. Like, you look at something like Halloween Kills, which is in its second week, really only just edged out No Time to Die, which is in its third week. Like, it only beat it by $2 million, which is really not a lot.
Yeah.
At all.
And there's 70% drop.
No, exactly. Yeah, and Halloween Kills saw a 70% drop in its second week. Now, I'm not saying it's going to, but we were monitoring the Free Guy situation pretty closely on this, where Free Guy, its drop kept decreasing every week. Its first drop was about 40%. Then it dropped like 20%, 15%, 10%. Then there was one week. There was 1 week where it dropped. I think it was 6.9%. And nice. I was like, if this keeps going, it could go up. Right. Like I was the last movie that went up after weeks of release was Greatest Showman, because Greatest Showman opened to crap, and then it made $1 billion. Right. Like it just kept going, and its percentage went up over time, right. Like which is very extremely rare, like super rare. And Free Guy almost got there. So like I'm wondering if No Time to Die, because I think last week No Time to Die dropped about 60%. This week it was only like 48. So if it drops like 30% next week without really losing that many theaters, and that's a drop of that with also losing 600 theaters. So like it's and Halloween dropped 70% with gaining some. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like now that's not always an indicator, but I mean it is an indicator of at least something, that something in No Time to Die is holding it a little bit stronger. But yeah, either way, a really good showing at the box office. Like the fact that the top 5 equals, almost like 70 million, almost 75 million, you know what I mean, for something that's not like a Marvel movie or anything like that. Right. I almost just said there's not even a Marvel movie or a superhero movie in here, but apart from Venom. But the fact that like it's not off the back of like a major MCU release, like that kind of thing. Like next week's going to be a different story with that, but yeah, I mean, pretty cool stuff. Definitely. Yeah. Does anything jump out to you that we haven't already talked about?
No, I think we love you, Ron's Gone Wrong fans. We see you and we acknowledge you.
Which that movie, it's like the trailer for. Oh, by the way, have you watched Curb Your Enthusiasm, the premiere?
I haven't watched Curb since I'm still on like season 3. I think.
I forgot. You gotta follow.
I fell off. I'm not even. I haven't picked up The Sopranos in like weeks. I gotta pick that back up.
Larry, don't be mad.
But there's a scene in the trailer for season 11, where it's like him and his manager, like Jeff Garlin, and they're like toasting, and they like Jeff's wife Susie is explaining like how you're supposed to properly toast. And they make fun of it, and they like look into each other's eyes, and they're like, "I see you, I see, like I see you, I understand you, I connect with you." And I was like, "That's like the Ron's Gone Wrong fan base."
I forget I was watching, but there was a promo for it, and it was like his bald head, and it was doing like the dun 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 dun. And it was like zooming out and find out it's his head. I was like, "Oh, that's funny."
That is funny.
But yeah, so I'm an episode behind on that too, because I forgot that because I did that trailer reaction. And that was the first trailer, and it was like out next week, and I was like, "What?" Yeah. But yeah, it was very, very good box office stuff. But let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of this episode, which is the main topic. So in the title of the video, like we talked about, as you can see by all of our friends down there.
The little spooky.
Yeah, a little spooky stream for all of you guys. We are going to be breaking down and ranking what we think our personal top 10 horror, Halloween, spooky season, all around spooky movies are. Yeah. So yeah. So the way that we do these is I think to just make it go faster, so we're going to do, one of us will go through our bottom 5. And then the next person will do their bottom 5. The next person will do their bottom 5. And then we'll do our next 2, and so on and so forth. And then once we get to our top 3, we'll go, round robin style and just kind of go through that just to get through the list as fast as possible. Otherwise, we will be here for 3 hours. If you don't believe us, go watch any of our previous ranked episodes with a guest.
Or just in general.
Or just in general, because the ranked ones go very long.
Do you guys think we're going to have some matches?
So if we do have a match, do you want to do punting?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Well, how does that work with 3 though?
So it's like I almost said 3-man weave, just like Matt does. But like again, shout out Top 10 Show. They formatted this. It's a beautiful format. That's why we use it. So punting is basically like if you say your number 9, and so we're doing our
and that's their number 6 or something.
Yeah. So we're doing our bottom 5, right? So that's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. So if you say something is your 9 and it's my 7, we can talk about it because it's in the same grouping.
Oh, okay. So
but
we're
if
just
mine's like higher
lightning
up,
rounding the 5 and not discussing them yet, right? Do we
yeah, unless we discuss it once everyone has said where it is, basically. Okay. So that's like kind of a good way to think about it. Like, but yeah, but you'll pick it.
Do you want to start with the honorable mentions first too? Because I know some of us have a few. Or
yeah, I mean, I don't.
Okay. Yeah, and don't say like where it is on your list or if it's on your list if.
Well, honorable mentions.
For honorable mentions, if someone else has it on their
honorable mentions, I was just gonna say them, like just.
List them. True. Yeah, just like don't react.
Does anybody want to particularly start or?
Well, I was gonna say let's have Paige start, but just so that she can get a feel for things. You want to start?
Yeah. Well, I'll do my honorable mentions first, obviously.
Nice.
So I had 3 of them. As I said earlier, I'm not the biggest horror person. If I hear one of them is very good, I will most likely go and watch it at home.
Not at the theater.
I would like Halloween 2018 was different because it was like a screen. It was like a family. I watched it at the screening, so it was different, and it wasn't as jump.
We
were
all there.
Lucy was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like something like
pizza was there.
I don't even know. Like
pizza
the Black Phone, like I said earlier. Like I'm not going to theater to watch that. I'm going to watch that.
Yeah.
At my house.
There's some things that are just so scary. Like, but then again, it's like all the scary shit that like Netflix puts out. Like we're forced to watch that at our house, and I'm just as scared. So it's like honestly, I don't know what's better. Like I don't know what's better to watch. Like.
I'm a broken person. It's very hard to get under my skin. Yeah, I'm very desensitized. I don't know what it is.
So my honorable mentions, I had 3. I had The Conjuring, I had Midsummer, and then I had Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I watched.
Oh, nice.
To see if
did I say last? Yeah, I kind of watched it because that was one of them in like kind of the slasher kind of genre type
like
thing.
Yeah, people always talk about it, but you never know.
Right? Yeah, and I know there's like multiple sequels after that, and people really like the second one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because it's like a satire. Like the poster is like they're all the family is like the Breakfast
Club.
I
saw that. Yeah. And it wasn't even like I thought it was gonna be. It was what do I want to say? It was gory. It was more like just unsettling. Yeah. Like there was no jump scares like per se, really, which I'm really like a sucker for. Like you could like spell it out in front of me, I'm still gonna jump. Like when we were watching Butterfly Effect last night, there's literally just like they have like these really big cuts in it, and it'll just like big cut to something else. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh.
You know. But yeah.
Have you ever seen the Mothman Prophecies?
No, I've heard of it, I've never seen it.
I remember that was a movie. Sorry, that was a movie.
Butterflies.
No, literally. Because I was trying to think, I was like, wait, no, that's not what I'm thinking of. But it's the Mothman Prophecies. I watched those when I was a kid. It was like the same time I watched like Interview with a Vampire. Just some really creepy shit. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Conjuring, scary.
You're talking about the very first one?
The very first one.
Okay.
And Midsummer, very more psychological.
Yeah.
I'd say not jump scare. Oh, the only jump scare in that is like when she's in the outhouse or whatever. And it's like the mirror thing, and like just like the beginning of it, like panning out and her face is duct taped to an exhaust. It's like it's just weird.
I got a jump scare for you behind all those things.
That was poster.
Midsummer poster.
Oh, mama.
Big Florence Pugh face right there.
That's all you need.
Actually, I'm sorry. If we could put one more honorable mention.
Yeah.
If we could include shorts, I'd probably put the Johnson's Ari Aster short that he did on there as well.
Oh, like what's the strange thing about the Johnsons?
Yeah, that one was just fucking weird.
Have you ever seen that?
No.
It's fucking
weird.
Where
is that?
It's on YouTube. It's his student film.
YouTube or I think it's Vimeo or something. Yeah.
Definitely check that out. It's only
fucking
like 20
weird.
Minutes.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I bet.
I don't even want to say anything about
I
it.
don't.
Yeah, no, don't.
The premise is interesting.
Yeah.
So you want to go next? You want? Next?
Yeah, I'll go. Okay. So I also had Midsummer as a honorable mention.
Okay.
I really wanted it. Like it was one of the first editions that I put on the list. Then it just kept getting bumped down and down. I mean, I've talked on this show about my love of that movie and Florence Pugh as an actress and everything. But like, just an absolutely fantastic movie, and really, really scary. Like you said, not too many like traditional jump scares, but just the unease that you feel like throughout it, like most of Ari Aster stuff, is just really, really good. And then I also had the very first Conjuring because I've actually seen I've seen like all the Annabelles, and like I watched The Nun and like
no thanks.
was it the Linda Carlini one, La
Llorona, yeah.
But I haven't seen Conjuring 2.
I've seen Conjuring
or Conjuring 3. I've seen like
Devil
the
Made
Warren
Me Do It
verse,
3?
but only the first one with the actual Warrens, huh?
Is Devil Made Me Do It 3? Or
yes.
No? Okay, yeah, I haven't seen that.
Because I think it's just that. I don't think the Conjuring 2, does it have a subtitle? I think it's just Conjuring 2.
Not that I remember. I think it was just.
Yeah, I think it's just Conjuring.
Yeah, but like, I don't know why. Like, I've watched everything else, but I've only watched the first Conjuring, but not the second two. But just the movie itself is really strong, and then Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga is just like their combo is just so good too. Like, and they're engaging and shit. And then my last one was Corpse Bride.
Nice.
Tim Burton's Corpse Bride. That was like I really loved that movie from like when it first came out. And I recently rewatched it this past week. It was really good again. It was like up there, and then it just kept getting falling. Shuffled down.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, that's all I have for honorable mentions.
All right. Honorable mentions. So I have a few. First of all-time favorite movie of all time is Silence of the Lambs, but I didn't put that on the list because I think
really
no, because I just felt like it encompasses everything that is movies to me. You know what I mean? So it felt like a cop out to put it on there when it's my all-time favorite movie of all time.
Right.
Yeah,
that is one Danielle brought up to me too, and I was like, oh, maybe. And I was like, yeah.
And then I have The Thing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the 1982 one.
I was gonna say the 2010 one, right?
Yeah. And then Anaconda. You guys ever seen Anaconda?
Oh, yeah.
That sounds familiar.
It's like you remember SEN Anaconda?
Oh, like
Brett.
yeah. No, I've never
seen
seen
it, goddamn snakes.
but I know of it.
John Voight.
It's the dumbest of the dumbest, like schlock B movie type thing. You know what I mean?
So stupid.
But I love it.
So
I love
funny.
everything about it. It's a 5-star film. Like, Mother.
Absolutely rewatch.
Mother.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah. One of those movies I never ever want to watch again.
And I want to watch it. And Danielle's like, "Are you sure?" Like, because she's seen it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah." Everybody says it's like either I feel like people say it's awful, and then some people say it's good. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's very polarizing.
Oh, we got the Movie Guy 2001.
That's not.
Oh well.
Is that who that is?
Oh well. Are you ready for Lightyear?
Am I?
Are you?
Tell me, Sean. Am I ready?
I don't know.
I gotta look that
you
up.
Might
Is that
think
a movie?
You're ready.
Yeah, it's the Buzz Lightyear thing.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So
you might think you're ready.
You had me intrigued about that. I definitely have to go check out. You said there is a trailer now?
Yeah, it
okay,
came out this morning.
Go
check out the PFN Reacts episode up on the channel right now.
Barreling towards 1,000 views as we speak. Just want to say that.
Barreling.
Tumbling. Yes.
Boom. And I will say and granted, it's on our fault, but I think the algorithm abandoned us for a couple weeks there.
It
did. we definitely.
Yeah, you were on a high.
Yeah, we have definitely been slumping, but we are on the up.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, we've had many of those.
But yeah, do you have any more?
A couple more. Sorry.
Okay,
no, you're good.
Anything I was gonna say about Mother, which I will bring up in another title on my actual 10 list, is I'm like a sucker. I think for the biblical allegories, and there's a lot of that in there. It might just be the lapsed Catholic traumatized or whatever. I'm not.
There's one on my list that is very much like that as well.
No spoiler.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Okay. And then Alien, which I feel like is gonna come up somewhere. Oh no. Oh, I don't know.
That means he forgot.
I thought that was a
although
given.
I will say our rule has loosely always been that like you can kind of
like if
you're not locked. You're not locked until. You say
if
it.
you wanted to switch it.
Yeah, if you want to switch it,
like we've kind of done that with all of them, like where it's not a lock until it comes out of your mouth.
Right. That's fair.
Because there's so many that like that. Like there's so many that's like, and I don't even know if I'm gonna change it yet, but there's so many that are like that.
Right. And then Sleepaway Camp. I don't know if either of you guys have seen that.
I've heard of that.
I've heard of it too. I've never seen it.
Another very low budget, schlocky 80s movie. Great twist. People talk about the twist.
Oh, okay.
And then Nightmare on Elm Street 2, which
Electric Boogaloo?
Yeah. That one's known as one of the gayest slasher movies.
Okay.
But it really holds up, and
Good for Freddy.
Yeah, exactly. He's an allegory for homophobia in that, which is really interesting.
Nice.
And then Tremors.
Yeah.
Great. speaking of sandworms.
Yeah.
And then Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, which is like a 60s film.
What is that one? I've never heard of that.
Are you kidding?
It's Betty Davis.
Not joking.
Yeah, Betty Davis and Joan Crawford and
and they're sisters. And
yeah.
it's not really a horror movie. It's disturbing.
But you are Joan, you are in that chair, right? You know, all that shit.
Interesting.
Great movie. I remember I watched that movie. I will say it is loosely a spooky season movie, but it is, when I watched it as a kid, I was like, it like traumatized me.
Right.
And then it was one of those movies, I don't know if I've ever talked, I feel like I've talked to either both of you or one of you guys about this, but like Spirited Away for me was a movie that like I watched all the time as a kid, and then like I lost it in my memories. Like I like didn't know it was like ethereal.
Doing random words.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then one day it just like it clicked, and I saw it, and I was like, oh my god, like it's the bird lady.
What's
like
you
know what I mean? Like, and I was like, like it was the same thing with like Baby Jane, because then that when FX was trying to do that like little mini series they did, like Feud, Betty and Joan, about that making of that movie with, which is an amazing show with Jessica Lange and Susan Sarandon. It like helped me rediscover the movie, and then I was like, oh my god, I literally used to watch this as a kid, and I was like especially the ending, like with the beach, like I like didn't understand what was happening, like why it was like when what happens and like kind of just like, the mania of it.
I added it to my watch list.
Like it just like the pure like mania,
and also it's very much that family drama of like Hereditary, where the horror is in how strained the family relationships are.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And it really like man, maybe I should put this but like it's just so good. Like, but like the shots too, like the angle of the camera and stuff, like it's so like again, it's like Ari Aster. It's like it just makes you feel uneasy watching it. This is a movie from the 60s. Like it's just so. It's very, very good.
I would not be surprised if he was like that was one
influenced by because it's very good. It's really good.
I put it on the watch list.
It's very, very good.
Anyway, that's all my honorable mentions.
Okay.
You want to go first with your
I guess I'll start.
Top or bottom 5?
Yeah. So wait, I'm just saying. What am I saying? Just 10, right?
No. So do your bottom 5.
Oh, okay. My bottom. So all of my bottom 5. Okay.
Yeah.
So
10 through 6.
Okay. So my 10 through 6. In order is Nightmare on Elm Street, A Quiet Place, Sinister, The Exorcist, and Alien.
Nice.
Was there any
Alien
crossover on there?
Yeah. Wait, sorry. Just I know one, but go through one more time.
Okay,
so
sorry.
I can be 100% sure.
Nightmare on Elm Street was 10.
Okay.
And then Quiet Place, Sinister, The Exorcist, and Alien.
Okay, so Exorcist was my number 1.
Oh, there you go.
Got it.
Wow.
Which gets into the biblical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
it didn't even occur to me that was the one. That's not even the one I was talking about with the whole biblical thing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Wait, what?
But that's that's obviously higher on the list.
So we'll talk about it when we get to your one, because whoever has it higher gets the honor of conversation, basically.
Got you to be like, why did I do this?
Yeah.
So are you guys gonna go through your 10 through 6 then, and then?
Yeah.
Or should I talk about? Well, I guess I don't know what's on the list. Okay.
Well, if we had it higher up, we would have talked about it.
Right.
So you can talk about.
What okay. The one I want to talk about is Sinister.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen the second one. I remember when it came out. I remember. I don't know if you guys remember Steven. Yeah, he came to see it like the one day when he was.
Is that like Chris's?
Yeah, Chris is right. Yeah,
no,
and he came to see it. He said it was but the whole like kind of Scott Derrickson, Ethan Hawke, who are teaming up again for Black Phone. Just the whole like vibe of the found footage kind of creepy boogeyman type thing is just very, very scary to me. The worst like. Spoiler, if you want to go through like some of the like one of the deaths is like them getting ran over with a lawnmower. It's very like very creepy.
Right over the head, right?
Yeah.
Is that the one again? Is that Patrick Wilson or is that
No, that's Ethan Hawke.
Oh, right.
And he's like finding the tapes in the house.
And he's like an investigative writer.
Something like that.
He wants to do a book on like some murders that happened in the house or something.
Yes. And
so
I think that's why they probably move in
upstairs.
there.
Yeah, and they don't want him to do it and stuff.
Right.
But and he finds all these tapes up in the attic on the Super 8 camera.
And like one of them is just like it's just like shooting this big ass tree that's in the backyard, and then like it's like I think it's like the family's like fine, like oh they're happy, blah, and then the next shot is them just like hanging there.
Right.
Like the whole family. It's just very
uneasy. It's interspersed with like regular home videos and then that fucked up shit.
And it's one I don't want to go like watch again, but like it's one of them I'm like, do I want to watch it again or like don't I?
Right.
Because like it's
so
really fucking weird. Yeah. It's like it's very anxiety inducing, but at the same time it's like it's pretty good. I think it's like maybe underrated, honestly.
Yeah, definitely.
I do hear it brought up sometimes, but yeah, that was the one I really wanted to touch on.
Yeah.
Nice.
Exorcist, I'll never watch again. That movie was very scary for me. I don't want to watch it again.
I just remembered actually another honorable mention. It's like the bottom of the pile, but it's kind of like a guilty pleasure, I guess. Secret Window with Johnny Depp. Have either of you ever heard or seen that? It's based on a Stephen King novella.
Oh, okay.
It's just really fucked up. It's about a guy. He's like going through a breakup, I believe, or maybe like his ex-wife is remarried or something like that. But he's like a writer, of course.
Of course,
and so he's like going to live on his own and stuff. And then like he realizes that like the house, it's just like one of those psychological things where like the house starts like turning on him type of thing, and then he finds this like secret window that like shows this like area of the garden that like he didn't know about. And it's just there's just all these moments in the movie where it's like you think the tension's about to break, but then it just like ratchets up, and you think something really big is gonna happen, and then it like dials back. Like it's like a tease throughout the whole movie, and then the ending is just like really wild and crazy.
Reminds me of like 1408. Like he has a very similar
absolutely. You know what? I'm gonna throw that right on honorable mentions.
Oh, okay.
Because I love 1408. Yeah. Just actually, I haven't seen 1408 in a long time. But yeah, Sam Jackson and John Cusack are so good. Especially John Cusack.
Oh yeah.
Like the scene.
Because it's just his movie. It's a bottle film. Basically.
Yeah, like literally, like oh man, yeah, that's such a good movie. Both of those are really good. Like, go check them out. Like I said, not worthy enough like to creep into my top 10, but they're both like really good, like edge of your seat watches, like what's gonna happen next type of thing. And then I would say for both of them, satisfying conclusions. Another 4-digit number, John Cusack movie, 2012. Check it out.
There you go.
Shout out. Which I actually wanted to watch that this week, and it's not on any streaming service.
2012?
Yeah, and I'm like, that's a high budget, like, big movie. Like, that was a very popular movie. I'm like, I'm surprised it's not anywhere.
Yeah, they're like bury it.
Yeah, exactly.
Bury that with Knowing. I feel like that was a very similar thing.
True. The Happening. So, my bottom 5, and again, stop me if you have any punts or anything. So, number 10 is, I don't know. I might get hate for this, but I enjoy watching it a lot, and I recently rewatched it, which is 2018's Halloween. Thought that I just really like that. Number 9 might be a punt. Number 9 is Hereditary.
Punt.
Okay. Number 8 is 1978 Halloween.
Punt.
Okay. And then number 7, I don't know if it might be on your list, might not be. Nightmare Before Christmas. So. Spooky season, but not necessarily like horror. And then definitely spooky season, definitely not horror. Number 6, Halloween Town.
Nice. I do like a good Halloween Town.
Good 90-minute decom.
Exactly.
Nice and easy. I will say though, if you're gonna watch it on Disney Plus like I did, I watched all 4 of them just to see if any of them were gonna make it. I was like, that first one is rock solid. Like it's obviously like super low budget, but like other than that, like. And I was like just talking the whole time. I was like, Disney Plus, where is Halloween Town 5? Like I was like, throw $10 million at this movie, and you like everyone would watch that. Like especially if you brought back everybody, like except for Debbie Reynolds, like R.I.P. But yeah, that was really good. And oh yeah, but what I was saying, if you're gonna watch it on Disney Plus, just know because they aired like in 4:3. It's like punched in, like what people complain about The Simpsons.
Yeah, so stuff's cut out.
Yeah, like there's like all the shots in the beginning where it's like Marnie talking to her mom like at their house. It's like half of Marnie's face is like cut off. Like it's very weird like that. But once they get to like Halloween Town, the shots are more like all outdoors and stuff. Like it looks a lot better. But that was a little like jarring. The movie's still good.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
More about Calabar's revenge gal, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
More about the puzzles in that where they're trying to solve, you know what I mean? Like.
Oh, absolutely. And honestly, I really more, if I could do this as a little bit of a cheat, I would really more just make my number 6 the Halloween Town franchise. Because, I feel like the first one and then Calabar's Revenge go hand in hand. Like I was half expecting in the first one that they were gonna go to the dance and have all the masks and stuff all that is just seared into my memory. And then we don't have to talk about Return to Halloween Town, but the first 3 really that was the one where they changed Marnie. And
that's why I didn't see it. I think. Yeah. Because I saw Halloween Town High is.
Yeah, and Halloween Town High is really good too. I feel like Return to Halloween Town was okay, but now it's them, but they're in Magic College, and it's it's okay, but you kind of just did that with the Magic High School, and you did it much better in that one. Halloween Town High actually reminds me of a movie from a couple years ago that I really liked, which was what was it called? It was the King Arthur movie, but he was a kid.
Once a Future King? No.
I know what you're talking about.
The Kid Who Would Be King?
The King Who Would Be King, yes. That movie, I really liked that movie. That movie reminds me of a high-budget Halloween Town High.
Right.
Because it's the whole school at the end, it has to face off against magic, and it really kind of had a very similar vibe to that. But that was a really good movie, actually.
I felt like it was very heartwarming too, just all of the human kids, right? They all are we don't care that they're monsters.
It was absolutely. But yeah. Do you want to do
so Paige's bottom 5?
Yeah, your bottom 5.
Okay. So I have Freddy vs. Jason, Cube, Girl Walks Home Alone at Night, Clive Barker's Hellraiser's Fame Cult, Nightbreed. Have you guys ever heard of Nightbreed?
That's a long ass title.
No, it's just Nightbreed.
Oh, okay.
I feel like that one it bombed, but people know Clive Barker from Hellraiser, so I really like Nightbreed.
I've only seen the first one, Hellraiser. I've never seen any of the. I watched it actually last Halloween.
Second one holds up. They get abysmal after that. I think I've seen 6 or 7 of the 10 or 11 that there are.
Oh, I didn't know there was that many.
Wow.
They get real bad.
Yeah.
And then Kronos, which is a Guillermo del Toro movie.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds so familiar.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's my 5. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I remember. I haven't had. Cause you said Freddy vs. Jason, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
I watched that when I was younger.
Yeah, didn't you and me when you?
Yeah, so I was
went
going through my Friday the 13th thing. Yeah. I was trying to go through all of those. Yeah. And then I watched Jason X, which is the one that's in space. And then I put on Freddy vs. Jason right after that, and I'm like, the budget on this is so much better. Yeah. They really went all out for that one, and I think that's really what got me into slashers, because I think it came out when I was 8.
Yeah.
Love that movie.
Yeah,
it's so much fun.
Yeah, that was a really good.
How do they get in the same? I forget how they get into the same.
Oh,
thing.
Girl. Okay, so they're in hell, Freddy and Jason.
Is this after is this canon? Because is this after he pulls his mask into hell? In the last part?
So basically they're all canonically dead. I think there's a couple a gap between their respected not trilogies, franchises, when they came in. So they're both in hell, and they make it out hell is different pockets. Everyone has their own hell.
Oh, okay,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Freddy's all pissed off. He's monologuing in the beginning and basically saying he's pissed that everyone has forgotten him, because the whole thing with that is, you have to know him and be afraid of him for him to kill you in
your sleep.
Your dreams. Yeah. So he's I found someone in hell who can make them afraid. So he basically disguises himself as Jason's mom and then convinces Jason to go to Elm Street, which don't know how logistically that works.
Yeah.
I think he literally just breaks out of his grave, and then it's just so then he's make them remember me, Jason, and then Jason starts killing people, and then of course the whole town is freaking out thinking it's Freddy again.
Oh, okay.
And then Freddy is getting powerful enough to kill them, but it's a gradual thing. He needs to kill a couple other people in the fear to whatever.
Yeah.
But then he starts to get pissed off because Jason starts stealing his kills.
Getting the credit. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So then, basically it's a showdown where
they're duke it out.
I always thought they should have made a 3 Michael, Jason, Freddy.
Oh yeah, they talked about an Ash one. Yeah. Ash versus.
Oh yeah. From
which I've never actually watched those.
Army of Darkness almost made it on my original.
I've only seen the first Evil Dead.
Yeah, I've never seen Evil Dead.
I love Army of Darkness so much. But yeah.
So are we going 5?
Well, was there any other that you wanted to talk about in your 5 in depth?
So like, I was gonna say Cube is fantastic. I don't think there would be Saw without Cube. I'm gonna
Cube sounds
put that
very
out there.
Familiar.
It's basically like a sort of an escape room. It came out in like the late 90s. It's a Canadian movie. Very low budget. And they're basically like just stuck in this room that's rotate. Like there's a bunch of different rooms on the ceiling, on the floor, on all the walls, and they are just finding people in these cubes, and then it's shifting, and they have to try to find a way out. So like that's basically it, and then it's basically more of a drama of like, is this a social experiment? People are turning on each other, that kind of thing. But I love that movie. And then it's very much the person you think is going to be the hero ends up being the most fucked up evil person, and then the person who seems like he's an asshole and doesn't give a shit ends up being the hero, which I really like. And then I think I said Nightbreed, very good. I don't know if you guys know anything about that movie.
I don't.
But it's based off Clive Barker's a writer, like he writes books and stuff too. So it's based off his book Cabal. And it's basically about this guy. Oh, David Cronenberg is in it. He plays this fucked up psychotherapist who is killing people, and then he frames.
Isn't he also in Jason X?
Oh, is he?
Like a scientist?
Yeah, he's like so he's basically like the same thing, like evil doctor type thing. And he frames one of his patients for his murders, and this patient ends up dying, and then he ends up going to like this monster society called what is called Midian. And then they're like trying to like rise up against the humans because they're not actually bad. They're hunted down by the humans.
Yeah.
Kronos is a vampire movie, Spanish. Guillermo del Toro, very cool, and Ron Perlman's in it. So that's cool. Which he showed up in another Guillermo del Toro movie too, didn't he?
He was Hellraiser.
Hellraiser, yeah. And I think he's in another like Spanish speaking one. But that was also really cool. So yeah, that's basically it.
Nice.
Last minute honorable mention I wanted to add is Suspiria.
Suspiria, yeah. The original or the remake?
The original.
One, right?
I haven't seen the remake.
Oh, okay.
I do. Yeah, I had to watch that too, which I hear is vastly different, but still really, really good.
Still good. Scary and nice to look at.
Wasn't that wasn't the new one
very
like,
red?
Tilda Swinton and like Dakota
Tilda
Johnson?
Swinton, Dakota Johnson. Yeah.
That's a weird pairing.
Yeah.
That's a really weird pairing.
I think like Tilda's playing like a bunch of different characters.
By the way,
like in masks and.
Dakota Johnson plays the like Stanford student that Sean Parker's sleeping with in Social Network.
Oh.
And I was like, is that Dakota Johnson? It was like she has like a 3-minute scene with Justin Timberlake.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, oh shit. I was like,
interesting.
Yeah, because that had to have been 3-4 years before 50 Shades came out, something like that.
Oh yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Right. So why don't we kind of went through the bottom 5 fast. So why don't we just do one apiece? Going through, like, instead of the 5? 2 and then the top 5 will just be like round robin.
Is this when we're saying punt, or are we still doing that, right? Or no?
Yeah, we can just punt it if it's higher.
So my number 5 is Psycho.
All
right. I'm really worried that we are gonna have no commonality for the rest of this.
I think I'll have one with. I think I'll have maybe one with Paige. Maybe. So I'm assuming it's not a punt.
Probably one.
Anybody?
Maybe one. I'm thinking.
Psycho, original slasher movie.
Was it a phone case that I had for a long time? Is it from a movie like that?
I don't even know.
Okay.
I mean, for me personally, Norman Bates, very scary.
But sympathetic. You don't think? Okay.
I also thought, like, when I first watched it, I think I watched it with Danielle. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, Janet Leigh, main character, not main character.
Right.
Which I don't know. It's just so, like, it's just such a classic, I guess.
Have either of you ever seen the second one?
No.
I have not.
I don't know if you guys follow, like, Red Letter Media. They did a whole breakdown of all of the sequels.
The third, the fourth.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So there's 4 of them, and they actually think they all hold up, and it made me really want to go watch them now.
I was reading through the it was either the IMDb or the Letterboxd, or it might have just been like a tweet or something. No, it was an Instagram post because it definitely didn't have a character limit. It was super long. About Psycho 2, and I was like reading up on it, and they were like, it like really holds up. Like it's
premise.
like it's
he
like
gets out of the psychiatric ward, and
but
it's
he's
reformed.
But he's like actually reformed. Yeah, and then it's like
all the circumstances make him go back.
Oh, interesting.
Like, and I was like, that sounds actually like really cool. Like, because it's basically he gets out, he's just out of a thing. He doesn't have any money, so it's like he has to go and live in his mom's old house, and it's like because and like he doesn't want to, and it's like because of that, like you said, like the circumstances and like shifting in the house and like other things and stuff just like make him go back down the same path, and it's like.
Well, also, wasn't it like his sister, the sister of the woman he murdered in the shower?
Yeah.
Daughter like gets close to him or something. Like she basically planted it in. So it's like basically she's fucking with him because she thinks that he doesn't deserve to get out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So kind of tragic.
And then maybe if you anybody here watched the Vince Vaughn one? I never watched it.
No, the remake from the 90s.
What isn't there a weird thing with that where it's like it's word for word and shot for shot?
Oh,
right?
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
What else did that? Oh, another movie that's going to be on my list.
Oh yeah, The Lion King.
The Lion King, yes. Terrifying.
All right, so that's my 5.
Okay, so mine are. I really feel like I don't know. I feel like I just didn't go as strong horror, I guess, but I did like.
But that's good to have that.
Yeah. But this next one was definitely horror. My number 5 is just the first Saw. I mean, in that episode that we have, like,
oh my god,
I am obsessed.
how do we
that is actually our still our longest, right? We did like we did almost a 4-hour episode.
Gotcha.
On
every single Saw.
Yeah.
Which I listened to the first. Technically, I've seen the third one, but I saw when it first came out when I was like 8 or something.
The third one was on my top 10, and then it got bumped. I didn't even include it as an honorable mention, but the first one.
Fucked up traps, probably. Or
and just kind of the most fucked up things in it. Actually, I would say maybe 6 had the most fucked up traps. That was the one where it was like the insurance guy going through it. Remember, and like he had to like pick. Yeah. He had to choose everybody.
Like
and
that
stuff
one
like
lady
that.
like hanging by a hook or whatever and stuff like
yeah,
that.
It was like your secretary that you've known for years, or this who's at the end of her life, or this new guy who's like just a perfectly innocent, nice
that you don't know him,
guy. Yeah, that's like day one at your firm.
Which like what did they do?
Who lives and dies?
That's what his logic
exactly.
doesn't make sense to me.
I was like, why do we do that? And I was like, oh yeah, Spiral.
yeah. Man, but yeah, I think it is an understatement to say it that week. Like that month, like I fell in love with that franchise. Donnie Wahlberg, man, shout out.
Oh yeah, in the second one. Does he come back?
Second, third, and fourth.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, so good.
Yet somehow Tobin Bell doesn't come back for Spiral.
Yeah, like we've gone off about that. Like, believe me, he's doing fine. He wanted to. I don't know what they're smoking over there.
Take him back? That's odd.
It's very weird.
Yeah,
very weird. Not happy about it, but
so
yeah.
that was your 5.
Yeah, my number 5 is for sure. Like, I unabashedly love this franchise. Like, it is by far if I had to pick what is like, okay, out of all the like Jigsaw, Michael Myers, Jason, whatever, like mine is 100% Jigsaw. Like, and granted, a lot of the logic doesn't hold up like most of these franchises, but like, just the traps and and the thing is like there's 2 main elements to it, which is the game part and then the actual like traps. And some movies strike a really good balance of that, and some of them are just way too heavy into just like it's just like
what's my ranking?
It's just like there's some that are just like like a cop being like, oh, and then there was this one and then that one, and then I much prefer the ones that are like the actual game, because like the other ones where it's just like kind of a like Saw. Is the second one the one with the
That one I actually know.
That one's
the one with the black cop where they're trying? No, that's the fourth one. So the first one is
that one's
Donnie Wahlberg's son is in it and stuff. It was basically the son situation.
Yeah. And then because it was basically like it was Donnie Wahlberg's partner, and then Riggs, who was he was the black SWAT guy. So it was like those 3 guys were the main people dealing with the Saw 2 situation.
And they're all in there.
And then it was like the second one was like Donnie Wahlberg's movie. The third one, the girl died, and then the fourth one was about like the Riggs guy was like being tested. Remember that was the one where it was like he had to learn patience. It was like you have 90 minutes to save these people, and he got there right before the 90 minutes.
Because he did too soon.
And it was like do not break the door or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Or do not enter until the time, like it said on the door. Do not.
That's
enter
when Donnie
until
Wahlberg's on the ice.
Yeah, and then he was like, he was like, I'm gonna save you, and he busted through it, and him going too soon was what killed everybody. And I was like the first time I watched that, the natural reveal of that, I was like, that's awesome. And he was like,
which one is that?
I think that was 4.
That's the one I hated the most.
Well, no, yeah, that was was the worst one. But just that aspect of it, just that cool, clever twist. But the movie itself, that's hands down, that's the worst Saw movie.
Right.
But that twist, I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. Because at the beginning of the movie, he gets one of his squad members killed because he runs into the door or into the room too fast.
Right. So they had the setup and the payoff where he is like this. Yeah.
Yeah, and those two 40-second scenes were like the two best parts of that movie. Right. But it was still good. But yeah, Saw for sure. I mean, I wanted to give love to Saw a little bit because it's just so good.
Yeah.
So what was your 5?
My 5 was The Host, which is a
is that Bong movie?
Yeah. So it's a monster movie. Basically all I can say about this is like precursor a little bit to Parasite, even though there's no like supernatural or like horror elements really to Parasite. But very touching family drama with like a lot of class commentary still.
Interesting.
So that's cool. But yeah, that was my 5.
That's one I've been meaning to watch and I have not yet. Because I know he has that. He has like Memories of Murder, right? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Mother is another one that he has. Snowpiercer. Yeah. That is what I've seen.
Is that what it's called?
Oakja.
Yeah.
I have yet to see it. I always want to see it, and then I think it was on Netflix for the longest time.
It was, yeah.
And then as soon as
I think it's a Netflix movie.
I thought it was.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
okay.
I think it is.
Okay, cool. Then I need to watch so many things. Like my watch list, it never ends. Like there was this meme that I saw that I think John Campea actually retweeted it or something that was like it was the like guy looking back at the girl thing, and it was like movies that have been on my watch list for 3 years, and then it was like movie my friend just told me about.
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
It was like just how you watch things like that, and that's everybody. But like, I just wish there was time enough in the day to watch everything. Oh my god! But yeah. So what is your?
My 4 is one that I thought maybe Paige would cross over with me, but I'm not sure. My number 4 is Rosemary's Baby.
Oh.
Wow.
So we're good.
Oh.
Have you guys seen it?
I have seen it. Yeah.
I have not seen it.
So I don't know if Daniel told you this. I bought this like on Criterion, no, she picked it up for me because it was going out of print. So they were gonna lose like the license.
For having
print
it
and everything.
Yeah.
So she got it for me,
which I didn't even know.
And I was like, "Oh, we have to watch this," and she was like, "Okay." And then we watched it, and she was like, "Don't ever show that to me again," because she grew up in a very kind of religious household. Yeah. So it did not mesh well with her. So I've seen this. I think I've seen this one twice, and it's just so like again, like the whole religious aspect to it, and just kind of her getting like more and more sick, and you're not really sure why. Like, is it this thing that she thinks it is, or is she just
everyone's gaslighting her
basically? Yeah. And I think it was like 68. Fuck Roman Polanski though. Fuck that guy. But great movie. You're
gaslighting me.
And it's just really, and it ends kind of like, oh, that is what it was.
Yeah,
where it's
exactly.
like, oh, I didn't actually think that's what it was going to be, but it is.
Oh, okay. Wasn't there a remake with
there was
like Zoe Saldana or something like that?
I think so.
Oh, I didn't even know.
It might have been a mini-series. I think there was a mini-series with 3 episodes.
I think that's what it was.
I
it was
have
like
not
NBC
seen that.
Or something, so I doubt it was that great.
But with like Mia Farrow, of course, and John Cassavetes, I think that's how you pronounce his name. But yeah, I highly recommend you watch it. Maybe if you're not like a super religious person, are you?
Not really.
Okay, well then I think you'd be okay.
Yeah.
And Daniel's not like super religious, but she kind of grew up
it's
in a religious household. So it's just kind of But yeah, she was like, "Don't ever show that to me again." And I was like, "Okay, sorry."
So my 4.
Yeah.
So this is one I don't know if it's on either of your lists, but
Daniel said, "Why don't you tell everyone how that traumatized it did? It traumatized her. She's never happy."
So this is I don't know if this is gonna be on the rest of your list. I will say the rest of my list is not pure horror at all. like all the remaining of them.
Well,
I think we're safe.
So we don't have.
We're not gonna have the same thing.
I have no idea what it would be then, because I feel like you brought up like the.
Although mine actually,
the family classics.
One of mine isn't pure horror. I take that back.
I don't know. I would say some of the rest of mine are not. It's Frank. You're right. No, it's actually
Paranorman. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. No. Both of those are really good though.
I actually do want to watch those.
To me, it's just I don't know why Corpse Bride was always my favorite of his, like, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I just really like Corpse Bride. But no, number 4 is Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, okay, that's a great choice.
That's one that's been on there for a while that I have not watched yet. Like on the watch.
Oh, you should.
I've never seen any of the 3 like
the
Blood and Ice Cream.
Yeah. I've never seen
check out our TikTok where I have my 5 trilogies in 5 days series, and check out my ratings and rankings of that trilogy. Yeah, really great movie. I mean,
they're comedies, right? Kind of more.
Oh, yeah,
they're
sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Like if I was just gonna say the same way Zombieland is like, but
right, yeah.
But British.
But British, yeah. I was gonna say it's a really great movie. It's like more than a really great movie. It's like it's an amazing movie. Like it's so good. Obviously Simon Pegg, obviously Nick Frost, and then Edgar Wright with everything. But like even the other people like Bill Nighy as Philip, like his stepdad, like, and the fact that like it's this zombie comedy movie, but there's also this whole subplot where like he's dealing with accepting his stepdad, who has it's not like a new thing, like his stepdad has been his stepdad for like a very long time, but like finally coming to terms with that, like and then I won't spoil, but like in a comedic way, like stuff happens with that too that's like so funny, and just like the conversational elements of like you know what I mean, like in the back of the car, like with the like Mom Phillips, like he's like what do you mean? Like I just all that
it's like almost stepbrother vibes where it's like if he says something, you'll like drop him or something like that.
And then like just all the like the editing and stuff of like Edgar Wright's classic stuff, like all the Winchester montages of like the plan of like it's like well, what about this? It's like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. And he like breaks it down like 5 different times. And then also just like the ending, like just how like the kind of the after because slight spoilers, I guess, it's not really a spoiler for the movie because it's more of like an appendices to the movie. Like they kind of like solve the zombie issue.
Oh, okay.
And it's just like the way that they show like how life moves on. It's like it's just so stupid and funny. like I won't get into it, but it's so funny. But it's really not a spoiler for the story because the story kind of has
all 3 of those
ending.
Connect or no?
No, are they? It's like a trilogy.
Aren't they all zombies though, or no?
No.
Oh, okay.
The other one is like a
Hot
secret,
Fuzz and
it's like a secret society, and then aliens.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's like zombies.
I like Hot Fuzz the most.
Yeah.
But
I love.
I do so like Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah. And I really like
At World's End.
At World's End. Yeah.
I haven't actually watched
The World's End, because At World's End is
the one
Pirates
with, like,
3.
Wait. And then I get that mixed up with This Is the End with like Seth Rogen and stuff.
Yeah. Which again, that's another like funny, like kind of spooky horror.
Yeah, like genre movie. Yeah.
Yeah, like but This Is the End is pretty good too. But yeah, Shaun of the Dead, so good, just so good. I would definitely watch it for sure. Like
that one completely missed my radar, but that's a good choice for sure.
For
my 4, Dr. Sleep.
Oh, I've never seen that one.
There you go.
Yeah.
That was one we were meaning to watch, and we just never did.
It's such a good movie.
So it's just great too because it somehow manages to be true to the book and to the Kubrick original film, even though those are vastly different.
Yeah.
And I really appreciated that. And it definitely didn't try to just be Kubrick, which it would have fallen flat on his face if it had done that. Yeah. But it didn't do that. And I also felt like
that was Mike Flanagan, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They did an amazing job casting for the flashbacks too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Which I really, really liked. So just very, very good.
Isn't Jack Henry Thomas like Elliot from E.T.?
Is that?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, like that's crazy. Like you would never think that. Like I mean, those movies almost came out at the same time, and it's like one day you're gonna be playing the flashback of like The Shining. Like, but the flashback and, all are so good. All the casting is so good for the flashback.
And Mike Flanagan's the guy that always has been doing the Netflix things.
Yeah, he did like Midnight Mass, Bly Manor.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I might be completely wrong on this. I maybe I heard this and maybe it was wrong because you know how like it's like, oh, this is that person and that, but actually you find out it's not. I heard that it was the guy who played Danny in the original. Never really did acting ever after that. He just did that role. He plays the baseball coach of, what's his name? The little kid from, like, Room and stuff.
Jacob Tremblay.
You know how he gets, like, killed by the basically the vampires. But he plays the coach of, like, the baseball team.
I have a story about him. So his name is Danny Lloyd. And at one of the first Comic-Cons I ever went to. No, that's a lie. Not one of the first Comic-Cons I ever went to. The first Toronto Fan Expo I went to. So the way that it works is you basically all, like, you know this, like, you basically wait in, like, this bullpen area.
Bullpen?
Yeah, basically. Like, and then there's this lady on this podium who's very mean.
Like, hyping people up? Oh.
No, she's very mean. Like, you know, like, she is very,
like,
very mean.
fucking animals.
Yeah, like, she runs a very tight ship. But, the one year, it was just, like, because they just call it out. They're like, we're taking the 415 for Danny Lloyd. And it's like, the 415 for Danny Lloyd. No.
Last call.
Yeah, last call. Like, just over and over again. Like, it was terrible.
Sean said, can I get a free picture?
Yeah, I was like,
at
I
that
was
point.
just waiting back there. Like, what the hell? But yeah, like, that was just, and like, me and my mom always joke about that because that was like just one of those like Comic-Con stories that's like, poor Danny Lloyd. Like, he just no one went. And granted, that was only the 415. Like, he had a bunch of ones that weekend, so he probably, somebody had to have, done it. But like, it's just like the fact that it's like these celebrities, like, they leave their autograph booth where no matter who it is, the autograph booth usually always has a line to go do the photo ops, and it's like, you just left that line to go to no one for like 25 minutes.
Right.
And then like just to then be shepherded back to the line. It's like you just basically waste, like, you probably feels good to get a break.
Yeah.
But also it's like nobody bought my time slot at all. But good
Poor
for
Danny.
him. I'm glad that I didn't even notice that. Like, I literally saw the guy in real life and I didn't even notice that was him in
Right.
Dr.
Unless
Sleep.
I'm completely pulling something out of
No,
my
you're
ass.
probably absolutely correct, yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that was, I really like that. I really like the book too. But yeah.
Nice.
That's just like,
What is your number 3?
Hold on, I have to load the app
I
again.
can't believe we're already at 3.
My 3 is Jordan Peele's Get Out.
Not on my list.
That movie.
Us almost
great
made my
choice,
list.
though.
I didn't even put on my honorable mentions. But
Yeah,
like,
I think with Us is just like Get Out was such a high for, I mean, like I guess a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then Us was like, it wasn't quite there. I felt like, but like Get Out, the whole kind of basically like what you find out it actually is. This is kind of like, okay, like I didn't expect it to kind of go there.
Yeah.
And you obviously kind of said something is a little off. I thought, obviously, oh my lord, I'm losing names. Danica Kaluuya, right?
Yep.
Was great in it. Little Ray Howery was also fantastic. Some good kind of comic relief at some points. And just kind of the message it's trying to say as well, and the social commentary, and just how like surprising it was to see this guy who's really known for his sketch comedy and everything to just kind of draw from this like kind of deep dark place.
And the layers in the movie.
It's just so, like, oh my god, man.
So much going on.
Yeah.
And just like the whole like just like Bradley Whitford's character, like as like the patriarch of the family, like the whole like
I'll vote for Obama 3 times or something.
Yeah, like I wish I could vote for him 3 terms. You know what I mean? Like it's
like everybody's like
okay. Yeah, and it's like that's like there are real.
So many families like that.
There are so many people that are like that that are like, you know, like the like, oh, I have black friends. Like that's like the most common like thing. And it's like,
or even I'm even out like Keith. He's not. I don't think he's in it that much, but like his like frantic kind of moments like are just like kind of are pretty terrifying, and
so good.
My god, that fucking movie, man. That's one I saw in theaters.
And what's her name? Allison Williams, right?
Yes.
So good.
Is that the girlfriend?
Yeah, so good in that movie.
Like I think like one of the funniest parts is like at the end when he gets in the cop car. He's like, "I told you not to go. I told you not to go."
Right.
But yeah,
that's so
number
funny.
3.
Okay, so my number 3 is I don't know if it'll be on either of yours. Probably not. Beetlejuice. Michael.
That
Keaton.
was. I'll be honest. I've never.
A lot of Tim Burton on there.
Yeah, I honestly. Yeah,
I've never seen it, and Danielle keeps bringing it up. She actually brought.
I'd put Batman.
She brought
89
the two.
on
Right, it's good.
I don't know if their names. The two kind of like
it's
human
bats,
characters.
Friggin' Halloween. Or,
She
yeah,
wanted me. She
friggin'
wanted
love
us to
Halloween.
be them for like Halloween. I don't know their names.
Oh, like You mean like Beetlejuice and like Lydia?
Oh yeah, to be the couple that dies, like Alec Baldwin. And
Gina Davis,
I
like
think
them.
So,
Yeah.
This is
you can definitely pull off Alec Baldwin from back then.
Oh, yeah.
It's one that's eluded me.
It's eluded you?
Yeah, that I've been meaning to watch. I haven't, and then Daniel's like, "You have to watch it."
Blah, blah, blah.
It's just
it's on
so
HBO,
good.
I think.
It's just so good. Like literally the only 2 words to say. Yes, it's Tim Burton, and yes, it's amazing Tim Burton filmmaking, but the only 2 words to describe this movie is just Michael Keaton. Like
it's his show.
The levels that man like goes to in this movie are just like insanity. Like I know there's like on TikTok there's like one of the sounds that are trending right now is like the Beetlejuice speech where he's like what is it? Oh my god! But he's like basically going over his like resume, and he's like, well, I went to Juilliard, I went to the and then he just gets louder and like crazier, and he's like, I lived through the Black Plague.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun, not for them, more for me. Like he just starts going like over the top, just starts screaming.
Yeah,
and it's just like Michael Keaton's doing all this like in like granted not everything's one take, but like. That just the ramp up in that scene and stuff, and like the waiting room like with the guy with like the little head and stuff, and he like takes the numbers and like swaps them and stuff, like just so much stuff is so good in that. And it would have to be the absolute perfect circumstances, but just like if they were able to get everything right again to do another one, like I think Michael Keaton could absolutely just slip right back into it, like
definitely.
So like he just becomes a different being of like reality. Like like there's no connection between the actor Michael Keaton and Beetlejuice like that's even fathomable like in your brain. It's just he's so good. And then of course everybody else like Winona Ryder, Gina Davis, Alec Baldwin, like Catherine O'Hara, like there's everybody in it that is just so good. And then again Tim Burton, it's a really really great directed film. And yeah, it's just like my top 4 really are just like when I think of Halloween and stuff like that. Like that is what I think of, and Beetlejuice is 100% up there. Like I think I'm probably gonna either watch it tonight or tomorrow because I haven't watched it yet this year. But I watch it like every single year. But yeah, it's just so good. Your number 3?
All right, so this one isn't really a horror movie, but it's on the disturbing end. And I don't know if you guys will have ever heard of it, but it's a German movie. It's called The White Ribbon. I think I have the criterion of that. And it's from 2009, and it's in like black and white, and it's basically in between World War I and World War II in this like rural village.
Yeah.
And things are just off, and these children are really weird and really creepy. And it's by the director who did you guys ever hear of the movie Funny Games?
Yes, I forget his name.
Yeah.
Michael Heinrich or something, I think is
yes,
I know
that's one that's kind of on the list that is.
Which reminded me of when you were talking about how that Psycho remake was a shot by shot, because he remade his own movie in English with Tim Roth.
Yes, I know exactly. Yeah.
So it's that guy. So very similar vibes. Not as like gory as that, but super super cool. Very meditative, but like I was just enamored by that movie. I love it.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome.
My number 2. My number 2 is Hereditary.
So my punt from way earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
That movie, very scary.
Pretty fucked up.
Pretty
fucked up.
Just say Toni Collette.
Just stick your head back in the car.
Should have won the Oscar. Or at least been nominated.
Oh,
was even
absolutely.
nominated.
That was
that fucking face on your face, man. Wipe that fucking face.
Oh my god! Justice for I was just gonna say Justice for Peter, right? Isn't that his name?
Oh yeah, the fact that you even remember.
Well, I didn't know that was his
name.
I could never forget, man. That man was just trying his absolute best, and then he is just straight up destroyed.
Yeah, let's say he lost his daughter too, man. Like he's
you're talking? No, Alex Wolff is Peter.
Oh, what's the?
I don't know what the dad's name is. Hold
Frank.
on. I
don't know.
It is. Steve.
Steve.
Yeah.
I mean Steve. Well, Peter. That still stands though. Peter was going through it.
Yeah. If anyone went through it.
Yeah, and Alex Wolff was
Steve being lit on fire. Alex Wolff with this whole like thing,
yes,
and then like
the desk.
And then like Toni Collette like when he's sleeping and she's kind of perched in the corner, and then she like crawls out and like her banging her head against the wall and her song like you know and
just
the elephant in the room though, like that when that movie just becomes a completely different movie when spoilers when the daughter's head gets
Yeah.
Oh yeah, completely.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
you could not hear full theater, not hear a pin drop. Like
and that's
no
spoilers,
one was
but
breathing.
it's like 20 minutes into the movie. Like it's
It's not. I mean, it's what the movie is about, but it's the aftermath of that.
Yeah.
Yes, it's So like it's not that big.
I remember watching that. Like I watched it when we didn't live together.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it like at her dad's house, and I was like, I've never watched it again.
Mm-hmm.
What was I gonna say? I don't remember.
Would you say that's Ari Aster's best movie?
Yes, because he's only made 2. He's only made. I mean, apart
Besides
from the
that
shorts.
film,
Shorts.
Yeah.
Because I think he has like 2 other shorts. I believe.
Oh, I don't know if I watched it.
I've never seen those though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But he is doing a movie with Joaquin Phoenix that I
I did
think
hear
is.
about that.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what it's called.
That reminds me, other honorable mentions that I'm just thinking of: Robert Eggers and his The Witch and Lighthouse. I think are
The
great.
Witch I still haven't seen.
Nosferatu, a remake of that.
Oh,
with
right.
Anna Taylor-Joy or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Is she playing Nosferatu?
I think she's gonna play the main girl.
I genuinely wouldn't be surprised
Nosferatu
if she played both.
Oh,
No, that's actually like great casting.
Right?
No, it'll probably just be like Willem Dafoe.
Oh my god.
Or Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Honestly, I could see both
Whoa.
of them. I could actually
the
see
connection.
both. Yeah.
He's Edward Cullen. He gets to be fucking Nosferatu.
Oh yeah.
That'd be
I
perfect.
didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
No, but real talk, I really think Robert Pattinson would be.
That'd be
good.
great.
Yeah.
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 Oh, and sorry, real quick shout out Hereditary, the score.
Oh,
Like
yeah. And shout out the score in Midsummer too.
In Midsummer.
Yeah,
but like I think I don't know if it's a synth or something, but like the really high, like towards the end, like and then everybody like I feel like it's like a meme at this point, like this is the view from my kitchen, and it's the treehouse with the light on. It's just, oh my god, man.
Whew. You're giving me nightmares just talking about the ending of that movie.
I know,
like,
yeah.
Oh my god! But why do I want to watch it so badly
sorry.
now?
I remember what I was gonna say real quick. Our story about that movie is I forget
Didn't we all go see that together. By the way,
I didn't see it with you guys.
We
We went with like a big
group of like 10 people. And we had to be in the second row.
It was like you, me, Chris, Sean.
My friends Ben and Shirley and Troy. I think.
Yeah, Troy was definitely there.
I do remember a story though when we had it,
crazy screening,
which I don't remember what year it came out in. It was when like our friend Jacob was still working there, and this guy came out of it, and it was literally halfway through. Like it literally been on like a decent amount of time, and he was like, "That's the worst movie ever. I want my money back." And we were all like, "That's not how it works."
That's not how movies work.
This is a roulette, baby. You gotta go with the flow.
It's like you sat through like half of it, and now you're deciding it doesn't.
Well, yeah, that's the thing too. Is like you were in there for an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what are you doing? It's the same way that people come out.
I disagree.
Like,
good movie, very good.
Wait,
no,
he
disagrees
with the guy.
Yeah, I disagree with that guy.
Sir, if you're watching right now,
yeah, you're wrong.
And we know you are.
We know you're watching with Betty.
We know you are watching.
You're wrong.
Justice for Tony.
Yeah.
Oscar for Tony.
So your 2.
So my number 2, I don't know if it's gonna be on either of yours, but is a movie that I am like absolutely obsessed with and have been my entire life. Is Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh no! How did I not even?
Another one that eludes
mention.
me. Another one
I've
that
seen
eludes
it, but like.
I know.
Tim Curry.
It's on Netflix.
All right, I'm gonna put
I
the
think.
original.
I think it's on Netflix.
By the way, miniseries with Tim Curry in that too.
Yeah, like as an honorable mention.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that's another one too that I would say like if we're talking like TV specials,
he
like
is very
Halloween
creepy
Town,
in that. Yeah.
that would absolutely count. Like if anybody wanted to put it on, like honestly, all 3 like if we're just counting the TV one as one, all 3 of them. Like I was just talking to my roommate about this. I feel like It Chapter 2 gets a bad rap as
Thank you.
It's not as good as like
it's not.
Like okay, hang on. It's like it's not as good like people are like
but
you know
that second half of the book is weak too.
Exactly. Like and they're like it's just basically carried by like James McAvoy, Bill Hader, and Jessica.
So the people they casted to play the adults.
Well, that's what I mean. I'm like, wait, but what do you mean carried by? They're the 3 main characters of the movie. Like, and also, I'm sorry, are you trying to say that like Pennywise got worse in the second one or something? Like he's still the same.
I feel like he had very similar
character. Like it's, I don't even know. Like,
real quick, speaking of, because you brought up It Too, I just want to pitch the idea to Paige that I pitched to you last week when we were talking about Halloween Kills. You liked Halloween Kills, I think, more than both of us.
Oh yeah, I gave it 4 stars.
But something I said to Sean is I would have liked more maybe if they when Halloween Ends rolled around, they did an It 2 thing where they didn't get rid of all the people from the first one that he traumatized. They brought them together as adults and they said, okay, let's go after him. Obviously, they had like the mob in this one.
Yeah.
But if you had like an It 2,
like 5 people,
it's like the main group, and you have that in Halloween
and then just
Ends.
they're going for it.
Yeah, I thought that would have been like a really good idea.
Thing. Yeah.
Right.
That would have been cool. Yeah.
No. Yeah, I love that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Halloween Kills kind of killed that idea, but yeah, no, Rocky Horror, like, it's amazing. If you haven't watched it,
we were talking about Rocky Horror.
Yeah, if you haven't watched it, like, Meatloaf, everybody, like, just, I don't know what else to say. It's just it's one of the best spooky season Halloween kind of crazy.
Did they do any
movies.
of those screenings around here? Because I know that's like a thing.
Didn't we go to one?
I don't think we did, but Riviera, I feel like definitely does them.
Oh, what did we see at like the screening room?
The Room, and I think original Halloween. Didn't we? Were you with us for that?
I think so. We definitely went twice.
We saw The Room with Anthony. Do you remember that? The three of us? Oh no, Sean was there too.
Yeah. He was really having a good time.
I feel like he was confused.
Yeah, we gotta get Anthony on the show. He would never.
I was in contact with him recently.
Oh,
really?
So I heard.
Yeah. Oh.
For our side segment, the Anthony Hour.
Yeah, the Anthony Hour. But yeah, Rocky Horror. I mean, just go watch it. Like, it's literally like 90 minutes, and it's just great. Like, the songs are great. The acting's great, but the acting is purposely over the top. Like, it's crazy. It's just
one of
crazy.
those is on the docket for tomorrow night. I'm gonna say that. I don't know which one though. Now I gotta pick.
Out of what?
Beetlejuice and Rocky Horror. Which one?
Just do them both.
I don't know if I have a lot of homework.
They're both short.
This is your homework.
Yeah, this is your homework. What's it called? But yeah, it's just so good. Tim Curry, Barry Bostwick, Susan Sarandon. Again, Susan Sarandon, just great.
Very good.
Absolutely fantastic movie. Just go watch it. That's it. Yeah.
My turn?
Yeah, you're number two.
So, The Shining.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't know if that was going to hit anyone's number one. I was like a little worried about that, honestly, but you know. Very first Blu-ray I ever bought, like, I don't know, like just the nostalgia, you know what I mean? It's so good.
Have you, sorry, real quick. Have you read the book?
Yes.
So is it like, because I know like Stephen King, not a fan of the movie.
And then he did his own version, which was a TV movie.
Oh, he did?
And people don't like that movie.
No,
but it's very different, because the thing with like Jack Torrance in the book, he's not crazy. And the thing about the Jack Nicholson version of his character, he's already unhinged.
Yeah.
From the second you meet him, you know he's off his rocker. But it's very much a decline, and I think he didn't like that, like, you know, he's already a villain. He becomes more of a villain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
It's like he's supposed to go from like a family man, like everyday type of guy to like.
And he has his demons.
Yeah, like alcohol, like.
Yeah,
all
and he's
that
reconciled
stuff.
that, and he really loves his son, really loves his wife. He doesn't seem to even give a shit about Shelley Duvall, like.
No, at all.
Like,
yeah.
Just
well, neither did Stanley Kubrick, apparently.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Oh yeah,
she was like terrifying her and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's terrible, but yeah, no, The Shining is really, really good.
Yeah,
I saw it. I mean, I saw it like when I was really young, which probably fucked up. But like I've seen it a bunch of times since. But I watched it in theaters for the 40th. Well, I think it was the 40th. Yeah. When they did that like screening, and that was really cool to like see it on the big screen and stuff.
Right.
Oh. Wait, I'm sorry. Did you just say that you watched it when we got it in Maple? Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
I do remember. I didn't watch it there, but that was cool.
It was whatever the 40th.
80th. Oh, it came out in 80. Okay, so yeah, last.
Wait, was it?
Wait.
It came out in 1980. So was it like right before closing down or something?
Maybe. No, wait. Why were we shown?
Are you sure it wasn't like a 4K
was
like
it because
restoration?
Of Dr.
It was a 4K version. It was a 4K restoration because of Dr. Sleep.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was.
That's how I saw the original Blade Runner.
That's
Blade
what it
Runner
was.
2049 came out.
They don't have 4K projectors, do they?
No, but it was like a remaster. I think it was just a screening for it. Yeah. Or maybe it was the 39th.
Because I remember it had the new. It had like him like in the snow, and his outline was red.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember. That's exactly the screening I was talking about. Yeah.
Also, shout out to the documentary Room 237.
Yeah,
that's one that's on the watch list too.
Yeah, that's a really good documentary. I think it's on Netflix right now.
That sounds right.
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
So
okay.
yeah, but that's really, really good. But yeah, Shining's amazing. It just didn't. If I like, there's certain movies that like if I just haven't rewatched it recently, it's just like escapes.
I'll throw that in the honorable mention.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, definitely honorable mention. But, yeah. So what is your number one?
My number one is the original Halloween.
Oh right, yeah. Punt from way earlier.
Yeah. That movie is just like it still holds up after however many years.
43.
Yeah, and it's not even like after watching it, like it's not even because we watched it recently, me and Danielle.
That movie came out like 12 months after Star Wars.
There really weren't slashers before that. Which you
I agree. Did Texas Chainsaw come out before that?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
You have to double check that.
But like just like the William Shatner like faceless no emotion mask is very scary.
And talk about low budget.
Low budget. The way it's shot, the way he walks, the way he.
Oh wow! Texas Chainsaw Massacre was 74.
Holy crap!
Oh wow! Okay.
All right, Toby, I see you.
Right, Tobe Hooper, right? That's his name.
Tobe, yeah.
Is it Tobe?
Tobe. I think that's what it is on IMDb.
No, it's Tobe, but it's pronounced Toby.
Oh, okay. I think I've heard it pronounced Tobe. That's why.
Oh yeah, that's what it's
called. But maybe that's
just
like the joke.
Yeah.
Wait, did I can't remember what you said was your number one, but you don't say it yet. But
I remember, but that's what she said.
Did anybody say Poltergeist?
No.
No, I just saw. I was just looking at his filmography, and I saw that, and I was like, oh yeah. I was like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I forgot about that movie.
Well, is that the thing where like he technically directed it, but then Steven Spielberg basically took
I think he was like second unit, and then like uncredited stuff, like kind of like.
But they're like,
I don't know if he like
Spielberg movie.
Yeah, I don't know if he pushed him out.
I didn't even know that because I know that as like a Steven Spielberg movie.
Yeah, no, Tobe Hooper is the director, but it was like Steven Spielberg was like the second unit director, and like then just kind of. I guess I don't really know the story on if he.
I thought maybe there was studio stuff where like Toby was fighting with them a lot.
Yeah, so they were like Steven just go in and like that kind of thing.
Right.
But something happened. But the credit is Tobe Hooper. But like everybody's like what she said, like it's a Steven Spielberg movie. Which it does feel like a Steven Spielberg movie. It really does.
One of his darker ones, but yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, but in that too, what's his name? Craig T. Nelson, really good at that movie.
Oh yeah,
really good. Incredible.
I'm still looking behind my shoulder, even though I know it's not real. For the Boogeyman.
The Shape.
Yeah, The Shape, exactly. Even though the sequels are not the best.
Not all of them. I feel like
I've only seen like I've seen one of the later ones. I don't know which one.
It had to have been H2O. You wouldn't have.
No. I know what happens in H2O
because you saw the one with the reality TV show one, right?
The reality TV show one. No.
That's the one with Busta Rhymes.
I think I've seen like 4 or 5 or something like that.
Tyra Banks is in that one too. Because it's like, main kid in it is the kid from Smart House, whatever his name is.
Oh, hey.
And they set up like a live stream in the Michael Myers house. And they like, it's like a reality TV show where they have like these people who like are contestants on there to like spend a night in there. And then of course he comes back. But the idea of like a live stream like that in 2001 is insane.
Crazy.
Halloween 2018 though, very good. I did like that.
Yeah. Like I will say too, like Halloween Kills, like was it as good as 2018? No, but like is it better than most of the sequels?
Yes, probably.
Absolutely. Sequels in general.
Yeah, like for sure. Like it's like it's not up to snuff of the immediate previous movie, but like compared to the genre and specifically the sequels in the genre, like overall, it's way at the top of the list. Like, even with me, like I gave it 3 stars. Like even with that, it's
if the
way
2018
at the top.
one hadn't come out, just this one had come out after 40 years,
everyone
would have been like, "Oh, this was so good." But I think because it had to live up to the 2018 one.
Right.
Which 2018. I just hope they stick the landing.
Yeah,
with it.
That's the thing. Is, sometimes there is
and
that
it ends
in the sequels, and then it ends.
Hopefully
and
it
then
ends.
Does evil die tonight?
I don't know. Oh my god.
They sure wanted it to that time.
Was the tagline for Halloween Kills Evil Dies Tonight?
No.
It better be for the
It was not.
What was the tagline? Halloween.
He comes home. He's coming home.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
No, I think it was. I think it was like Evil Comes Home.
Also,
I think that is what it was. Evil Comes Home.
Also, apparently Michael Myers can be Danny DeVito size.
So
what the hell was that?
Yeah.
Also,
last week we went. the last like 40. Oh yeah, you said you watched last week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, you guys wrote in on it, and then also like them thinking that was him. They literally show pictures of them in the bar.
Right.
They had escaped. That both of them had escaped.
Like,
and then what's his name? Tommy, right?
Yeah.
Still like, let's fuck this guy up.
Like,
also, he's talking. Like,
just the fact that he goes to the fucking cop and he just goes, well, they never takes the mask off. It could still be him. I'm like, what do you mean he's 6'7"?
Yeah.
Like, this guy was literally 5 foot.
Yeah, exactly.
And wearing a hospital gown.
Yeah.
Shout out Jamie Lee Curtis too. She's great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Every single one she's in.
Yeah. When she's actually in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And awake and not just.
She got paid so much to lay down.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I know, and it's like, what?
It's gonna turn into like Halloween Kills review.
No, I can't do it again. I can't do it again. I really, really like Halloween Kills. It's just there's certain things in it that I'm just like.
No, it's dumb. And
that I'm just like. Really, the main thing is Lori. Like, I mean, if you watched last week, like where I was like, we spend a fucking hour waiting for her to wake up, and then when she finally does,
she's
like
no!
she like
drop kicks
She
someone.
drop
and
kicks
like,
the
I'm bleeding
doctor.
again. Why do you even have that in there?
Oh my god! Yeah, she literally.
And then she's just oogling with the like old police chief for the rest of it. I'm like, just kiss already.
The one thing I told Sean though I will give that movie is the recreation of the original.
The 78 stuff is
that's
really
so
good.
Cool, yeah. Very much similar to like Dr. Sleep does that. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's my number one. Halloween.
Oh, okay.
Original.
All right, so my number one is hang on, I gotta get off of Tobe's page.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's
how I've heard it
No,
before.
you guys are really close. You can call him that.
So my number one, which I'm surprised is not on any of your lists, is not horror really at all, but absolute Halloween. Hocus Pocus.
Oh,
is my number one.
No, that's a great choice.
Yeah. Just like I said, when I think, what am I watching for Halloween, or what is my like go-to like spooky season movie? I feel like most people like Hocus Pocus.
Yeah,
for sure.
No, that's
like
great.
Just everything about it, like all the characters, like Billy, the Sanderson sisters, Thackeray Binks. You know what I mean? Like just great stuff. And honestly, there really is some great stuff in it, and I'm super excited for the sequel.
Oh my god, yeah.
I just hope that it's good.
And they're all coming back, right?
Everybody, yeah.
That's
everybody's
fantastic.
coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even like Doug Jones is coming, like as Billy, like like as far as I know.
Do you think he's still a virgin?
Maybe, I don't know. I wonder if it'll be the same cat. Probably not. That cat's probably dead.
I constantly think about that when I'm watching a movie that's even like 5-10 years old. Like, this animal's probably dead.
Yeah. Oh my god. But yeah, that's I mean, I don't really have much else to say about it. I mean, I think it kind of speaks for itself. Like, just Hocus Pocus. It's like Halloween classic.
Yeah.
I think that, and like I feel like
it's great. Easing in little kids to horror too, because it is creepy for a kid.
Oh yeah.
Kids movie.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Like it's like Halloween Town, Hocus Pocus, Nightmare Before Christmas. Then like you might be ready for like something a bit more.
Yeah.
Like that's like the progression of like if you can handle Halloween Town, then you can kind of bump them up to Hocus Pocus. Then you can kind of bump them up to
Hereditary.
To like exactly, yeah, just right to the last scene.
Yeah, exactly.
Just skip right over everything else.
Maybe
none of the model making.
Yeah.
All of the demonic.
You cut those parts out.
Yeah,
no context.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. So
quick question. Remind me, I haven't seen it in a long time. Does James and the Giant Peach take place during Halloween?
I don't know.
Or is it like just fall?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know.
Because I was like, I'd put that on there, but I was like, is it even take place during like close to the months?
Are peaches like a summer?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Okay.
Ask Timothy Chalamet.
Adore me.
Oh God. Well, that actually tracks because it was a summer, wasn't it?
It was summer to remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad he made it out of that production with his skin still on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
With the other guy.
Silence of the Lambs, anyone?
Yeah. Speaking of the Social Network.
Right. Yeah, my number one I brought up already is The Exorcist.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I read that book too. Great book. Holds up to the book perfectly. It's the same guy. What's his name? William Blatty, I think.
Oh, the author?
Blatty. Yeah, he did that and the screenplay. Yeah. So fantastic. I love the family drama. I like a lot of it is a mystery, like a medical mystery almost, of like trying to figure out what's wrong with her. And they're so I don't know, like they're very down to earth about it, trying to figure out what's going on. It takes so long for them to actually get into bringing the priest in, and even the priest, who I love his character. What is his name? Damien? Yeah, I think his name is Damien. Right?
Oh, the younger one. I think it's
the young priest. Yeah.
It sounds like I feel like Dimitri.
I know his mom is like Dimmy, like when like he's having the dreams about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. And then once the shit does hit the fan, like those effects are incredible. You know what I mean? And they really go there with the sacrilege. Damien. All right. I was afraid I was mixing it up with the Omen because his name is Damien.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Have you seen the sequels at all or no?
No. So everyone talks about on that October challenge for like watching the movies.
Oh, yeah.
It was like watch the worst sequel of a horror movie that you can find, like or whatever. People bring that one up a lot. That it's horrible. It's called like The Heretic or something. And then people say the third one is good, but the second one's supposed to be really, really bad. And I think there was a fourth, and there's a TV show.
Yeah.
So I never watched the TV show.
About
somehow when
Leprechaun 5, right?
Oh my God, Leprechaun.
In the Hood. See, I have seen the first Leprechaun.
You know what's weird is
it's like Jason Takes Manhattan.
I've never watched that. I've never watched that whole movie or anything. But I think the one time I was at my grandpa's house.
Jason takes a boat.
Yeah, that's basically
a boat. Literally, I remember me and her were watching it, and I was like, when does he get to New York? And then like,
it's like the last 10 minutes.
Doesn't he do like a? Doesn't he like? Because there's a guy on the roof that's like going up against him. Doesn't he like? Doesn't he like punch his
head off?
He punches his head off.
About that because he's like a boxer or something.
Yeah.
Like, it's a high school. It's like a senior class is on this like cruise boat thing to go to New York or whatever. Yeah, and he gets on the boat
and the stuff on the boat, like it's okay. Like it's somewhat riveting because it's like
river.
Wait, is he like on an occupied boat or is it just him?
No, like he's like sneaks onto like a class like cruise ship like type thing.
Okay.
Yeah, not like a cruise ship, but like a.
I was picturing like a ferry you take across the river.
It's kind of like a ferry, but it's like a long like it's definitely a longer trip.
It's not like 30 minutes too.
It was an overnight thing.
Yeah, like it's not like the Staten Island ferry where it's like 30 minutes.
Oh, so he's like
I
killing a bunch of seniors.
Yeah, but then he's on a roof when he finally gets to New York, he like punches the guy and his head just comes right off. Yeah. Like, oh my God.
That sounds really like I feel like it's not that. It's something else where I feel like there's been something where somebody just punches their head off like clean. Oh, I think it's do they do that in Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
Probably.
Yeah, I
think that might be what it was.
What a movie.
Exorcist. Somehow when I watched it, because I only had seen it for the first time like a year or two ago, I watched the version without the crawl down the stairs.
Oh,
which did a little bit better. I don't know. I forget what I watched it on, but still fucking scary as hell. Where I don't really want to watch it again.
For sure.
Cause she scares me. She scares shit out of me.
She literally masturbates with a crucifix. Like, what was that?
Yeah. I heard she went through some, like, that girl, like, specifically went through some fucked up shit.
That too.
Yeah. One of the first times I ever, like, tried the Devil's Lettuce.
There's a Cinephiles episode on Exorcist.
I think I've listened to that. Yeah. The first time I ever tried the Devil's Lettuce, my friend then tried to have us, like, it was like a group of us. We then tried to watch The Exorcist.
What is wrong with
that? What?
Terrible. It was terrible.
I'm like wigging out at Naruto.
Like, it was just terrible. Like it was. I mean, not the movie. I love the movie, but like it was just that experience. Right. Like I have to be very sparing with like how often I watch it because I was just like, I was like losing my mind.
Right.
I just did not know what was going on. But yeah, the actual movie's great. Like Max von Sydow, like great. Like also shout out, honestly, honorable mention. Speaking of cinephiles, I don't know if you know what I'm about to say. Seventh Seal. Shout out. That is a spooky ass movie, and Max von Sydow is amazing in that movie.
Max von Sydow in Lynch Dune. Fun fact.
Max von Sydow in Force Awakens.
I got nothing for you after
that. Max von Sydow, David Lynch Dune. Force Awakens, scene with Oscar Isaac. Oscar Isaac.
Oh, there you go.
Where does
Denny Dune.
Exactly. Yeah.
Quick honorable mention that just came ahead since you and
I
Danielle.
also had one too that I thought.
Okay, Danielle brought it up to me a few days ago that I was like, oh, maybe. I'll throw it on there. Eraserhead.
Oh, okay.
Oh, David Lynch.
Watched a couple minutes of that.
Our friend Chris
fucked up.
Told me about that like movie like his dad had the movie poster in their living room when he was like little kid and so he said it always like fucked with him And then when he finally saw it, he was like, "This is awesome," but like it really just like fucked it with him.
It's like ingrained in him.
Yeah, like, and I was like, "That's so funny. That's so funny."
Yeah.
What's your honorable mention?
But yeah, oh yeah,
Sixth Sense. I feel like we can talk about that.
Oh yeah. I see dead people and all that stuff.
It's one of those movies where like if you know the twist and you've never seen it, still watch it. It definitely holds up because my Sean, he doesn't want to watch it because he said he knows what happens, and I'm like, it's still definitely.
I'm with him on that. I've never seen it, but I just know what happens.
Like, so you have no interest to see it?
No, I have interest to see it, but it's not something I'm like, I need to see it.
There's more to it than just the twist. Like,
I was
you
one
can
of those
still
people who
enjoy
didn't even
it.
know what the twist was too, which I'm like, thank God I didn't know. But like,
like you can still enjoy it 100%.
Yeah.
Like after
once again,
knowing.
Toni Collette playing that mom going through it.
I know. Yeah, she was really going through it.
She plays the mom of Cole.
Wow.
Yeah. Shout out Haley Joel. We know you're watching.
Haley, yeah. Remember
we know you're watching.
Tusks?
Oh. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
exactly. Mention to Tusks.
Yeah, shout out Kevin Smith. We know you're watching.
Oh, thanks. Oh my God.
But yeah. Awesome. So, yeah. Any other honorable mentions?
Maybe what the fuck is it called? I don't remember. It's a Cronenberg one. Scanners.
The Fly?
Oh yeah, Sean really likes that one too.
Yeah,
good body
horror. Yeah. That I'm really not a fan of.
Did you say that The Thing was an honorable mention, or is on your list?
The Thing?
Didn't somebody say The Thing?
It was one of mine. Yeah.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah. Which that one, there's no nostalgia there. I just watched it like within the last year or so, and I really liked it. Yeah, the 2010 one. I think that one's technically a prequel because like there's always that joke in the original about like if they're Swedish or from Switzerland or like they keep going back and forth on that, but whatever was the original team that they're hunting down the wolf in the first one, that's who it follows. Yeah. Right?
So. Speaking of It Follows, that's a good movie.
Oh yeah, that's
a really good movie.
Oh, It Follows.
Don't Breathe. That's a really good one.
That's a good one. Yeah. Don't Breathe 2. I don't know. Yeah.
Don't Breathe 2. You haven't seen it?
I still.
Did you see it?
No. I actually never saw the original, but I know mostly what happens.
Don't Breathe is like really good. Don't Breathe 2 is like it's okay.
Gotcha.
Like you don't. I would just stick with the first one. Like it's just really good. Second one's just kind of like questionable. There's like a spoiler of it. Don't Breathe 2. Like he dies, but then there's like a post credit that like he didn't.
Oh.
And it's like, and I was like,
okay.
I was like, are we trying to like? Originally, it was just like this really good like high intensity like thriller almost, and now it's like, are we making him like Michael Myers? Like why? Like he just keeps coming like. How? Like you have to give me some sort of logical reason that if he's this like magical demon being, why is he still blind?
Right. Like, exactly. Well, what I was hearing is like he was very obviously the villain in the first one due to certain things with certain kitchen utensils. So how are you going to make him the hero?
No.
And make it okay.
And that's what they did. Yeah. And I was like, that feeling never goes away because you're like, and they it's like. It goes like the people that like, so he's like a good guy. Mm-hmm. He's like raising the girl, and you're like, okay. And then like the people try to break in, but then you realize like the people that try to break in, he wronged them, and then you're like, oh, he is the fucking bad guy. But then it's like, you're like, oh no, but they were like lying, and they were like, and it was like
the first movie was all a dream.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like it, but it was like. I don't know. It was just a little dumb, like, in that whole aspect. It got a little, like, muddy, too, because I don't think the timeline quite matches up with the original versus now, because it's like, how does that really work? Mm-hmm. But, yeah, like, it was okay. And then Stephen Lang, of course, like, he was good. Like, he was just as good in this one as the first one.
Right.
It's just the actual, like, story was nowhere near as strong.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
One more honorable mention. I don't know if it's technically a horror movie, but Rear Window. I'll throw on there.
Oh, there you go.
Okay,
yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's a lot of good recommendations. Let us know what is your favorite horror movie or Halloween or spooky season movie, whatever you want to call it.
Surprise! Actually, no Scream. I'm kind of surprised nobody had that.
I across any of it.
Yeah. I've only seen the first two, but I do like
I've only seen the first
Shout out Scream 5. We know you're watching.
Oh, yeah. Just the entire cast during a viewing party for this.
It's just the movie. It's just the VHS of the movie that hasn't come out yet. Mm-hmm. It's just the VHS
with like
box.
googly eyes.
Yeah.
One more. Sorry, Paranormal Activity. First one.
All right, and the Descent.
Yeah.
I'll do that one too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll shout out like Annabelle and the Nun and stuff. Like they're not all great, but like if you watch The Conjuring and you like any aspect of it, just watch that whole just then if you like one movie, just watch 8 more.
If you like movies, just keep watching them.
Yeah, exactly. And that's really what we want to leave you with,
Insidious. That's another one.
Now you're talking crazy. What if that was the one? We were just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
What's wrong with you? Oh my god.
I've not seen Insidious. That one's the first one's PG-13, isn't it?
I have no idea.
Doesn't relate to anything.
All I know is that was one that I watched on when you could get Netflix on your Wii, and it was such a weird kind of layout. That was when I watched on my Wii.
God, it was janky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was.
Shout out Max von Sydow, Flash Gordon.
Oh, nice.
Ming the Merciless. That was a little bit of a spooky movie.
Thanks, Max.
Yeah. Shout out to the future. Apparently, Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness, first horror movie in the MCU. Apparently,
is that what they're
Sam Raimi? So we'll see.
Silly question, but is Blade DC or Marvel?
Marvel.
Okay, so. When are they going to do those?
Soon.
It's announced.
Yeah.
But those would count,
right?
Those would count, right? I would assume.
Oh yeah. For sure. Yeah. Mahershala Ali. I think it's it's into pre-production right now, but they haven't started shooting it. But I think Blade's supposed to come out. I think it's the last slot in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
It's soon.
Oh, it is soon.
Yeah. Because they announced Mahershala Ali as Blade 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Comic-Con.
When we were at Fan Expo.
Oh, right. It was the Obi-Wan night. It was that night. Yeah. So it was D23.
Yes.
Which, by the way, I didn't even know this. We're going to have to, when we wrap up here, we're going to have to go over our schedule through New Year's because D23 is next month.
Oh, they're doing that?
Yeah. That's going to be huge.
All
right. Just so
what
much
is D23?
Stuff. It's the Disney... it's their
showcase, kind of?
They announce that's where.
So it's like an E3, but it's D23.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, that's where they what we were talking about when me and him were in Toronto in 2019.
Where does the time go?
That I know. That was over 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That was the night that they announced that Ewan McGregor was coming back as Obi-Wan. A whole bunch of Marvel announcements, all that. That was where they announced. Was that where they announced Doctor Strange 2 all the way that long ago, or no? No, they didn't announce Phase 4 stuff yet. But that was that was where they first announced that they were going to do Disney Plus shows.
Oh.
That was we're going to do WandaVision, we're going to do Loki, we're going to do Falcon and Winter Soldier. That was that day.
Did Disney Plus launch early 2020?
No, November 12th, 2019. That's another thing that's coming up is D23 and Disney Plus Day.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're on the same week, though, so we might be able to double up. Because then Disney Plus Day is, going to be a mini, digital D23 on Disney Plus where they're releasing a whole bunch of, Kevin Feige's going to do, basically an upfront talking about what's coming up for Marvel that hasn't been announced. Kathleen Kennedy's going to do the same thing for Star Wars. And then they're going to release a whole bunch of trailers and crazy stuff. So make sure that you are subscribed. 86.9% of our viewers are not subscribed. 86%. That means that there is a whole heck of a lot of people watching this channel that are not subscribed to this channel. Don't let the machines win. Don't let them pick your content for you. Take that power back and make the choice yourself and hit that subscribe button. I think that'll do it. Make sure to follow us, again, like we said earlier, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitter, at @TheOfficialPFN. That'll do it for me. I was one of your hosts, Sean Monk.
Just want to say thank you to Paige for coming on.
Do you have anything you wanna say or plug or anything?
Oh, I mean, you can follow me on Letterboxd, I guess, at I think it's Paige Macaroni, right?
I think
so. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's about it. But thank you for having me again.
Yeah.
No problem.
And I'm TJ Cornwell, your other host. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what your top 10 horror movies are in the comments or tweet us, like Sean said. Don't forget to sub. We're actually at 320 now as of this live stream.
What's the you know what the Lightyear trailer's at?
It's at 1,000.
Whoa!
And we'll see you next Wednesday. Go watch the Lightyear trailer reaction right now.
Boom boom.
Bye.